It's been too long since we've heard that theme. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Goglings, Gogorifics, Gog peoples of the world. Welcome all to the incredible and awesome, and I am super glad to be back in the saddle of episode 511 of Pen and Pixels, specifically by the dice roll, as we continue to play Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Very excited for that. Very pumped up to be playing this game and to join all of you as we get back into the saddle. We've been off for about 2 months now, just because of schedule conflicts and a variety of things, but we're back today, and I am excited. We will be with you until just 5 p.m. Eastern. Dizzy Plays is going to be there after us today, but we're here until 5 p.m., and we're going to be bringing you the awesomeness known as Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and I'm very proud of the subtitle for today's episode, Eel Met by Moonlight. Aw, yeah, you know it. Time has come. Before we get there, though, just a couple of reminders to all the wonderful people on GOG. If you haven't done so already, please follow us here on GOG. Please consider subscribing to us here on GOG. And if you haven't done so already, please consider clicking through and checking out our own channels, because all of us have our own Patreons and subsystems and stuff like that we appreciate as well. Again, this is Pen and Pixels, technically, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And then Dizzy Plays will be joining you later on after our session tonight. I will then be back on my own channel on Tuesday. I have just put together my schedule. I'm not going to go over the schedule on my own channel, except to say that it is going to feature a decent number of GOG games. And I should say that on Tuesday, I'm going to be finishing up my playthrough of Evoland, which I began on my own channel, then starting my playthrough of Evoland 2. That will probably be interrupted, though, by a game which I don't know, actually, if this has been announced yet for GOG, so I'm not going to talk about it yet, except to say that it might rhyme with Bloblasta Blue. That's what I'm going to say. It might rhyme with that, and I might have done a lot of it on Pen and Pixels over the last couple of years. So that may be what I'm doing, but in between or among those things is going to be Evoland, Evoland 2, maybe some Viewfinder. Those are all GOG games as well. So that's what we're looking for there. But right now, the time has come for us to do our thing, and so I'm going to unmute myself and apologize to anyone that I interrupted because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, it is my truly great pleasure to bring to you the full crew. That's right. Don't adjust your television sets. We are all here. They are ready to go. They are ready to invade and to explain the death of an eel to his loving owner. So we're about to describe that. Too soon. That's true. It is too soon, actually. But before we get there, I want to introduce all these lovely folks. And so I'm going to begin by speaking to the person on the left side of the screen as you look at the bottom of the row, and that is one Pyron Jade. It's good to see Pyron Jade. The GOG stream starts when you're 4 levels down and a Neverwinter Nights 1 crypt. That's the best time, though, Eldritch, because it means that you will be inspired by this crew as they, too, make their way through a deadly fortress that threatens to destroy them at any turn. But perfect. Like, what could be better? But Pyron Jade is with us. Good to see you, Pyron Jade. How's everything going with you in your neck of the woods and so on? And who are you playing today, this evening?
Hello. I'm actually quite okay. I was being a good adult today. I cooked two new recipes. I cut the rose bush outside, and like all these things that adults do when they care about their house and their life and all of this. So there's that. And for escapism, I actually discovered a game called Critter Cove. I'm going to put the link in chat because I want other people to have the same fate as I have. Which is it's still in early access. It's not perfect, but it's like a mix between Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. Not as stressful as Stardew Valley, but faster paced than Animal Crossing.
Okay.
And it has a really, really cool character generator. I'm playing as a little phoenix, but also on my island is living like a bat that is called Ozzy, which is very good in my opinion.
I can't imagine why.
And stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of addictive. It's not quite ready yet. Like I said, still all in early access, but I wanted to share that. Tonight I'm not being a phoenix, but also a bird creature. So I'm playing Waves Crashing Against Rocks, the Kenku, who is currently underwater, if I remember correctly. As we're trying to stealthily infiltrate a fortress of the Sahurgen, which I actually had to look up for the tweet how to write that.
Yeah.
And we're in a castle, in a fortress full of the opponent's army and we're being stealthy. What could possibly go wrong?
No, exactly. And I think what this group has proven is that they're epically good at stealth. I think that's obvious, and that you've done a lot of practice on it leading up to this moment.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to run a campaign in which stealth is actually the default, but I don't think I've ever run a game in which people aren't at some point like, stealth is not our thing. Like, but anyway.
I don't even play stealth games because I don't like them.
See, I do like stealth games, but...
And I'm still like, the other time we wanted to infiltrate a fortress, we went up to the door and knocked and did diplomacy, and I'm still pretty proud of that. So just letting you know, like,
it's very true.
That was a good moment.
It's very true, and Cinder's right that stealth is optional for this campaign. We shall see.
Yeah, I also quickly wanted to say hello to Shamgar in chat, who is a friend of mine who sometimes DMs Shadowrun for me as well, so...
Hey, Shamgar.
He's suffering the same fate.
Good to see you, Shamgar, and always a pleasure, of course, to have Pyron with us. And I am excited to see what we get up to with Waves today. Moving right along, thank you as always to Darksaber2K for Moobot and Dashboard. And I know it gets tiresome to people, but I don't care. I want to give credit where credit is due. Also, Saber is wearing a badass shirt today, so I do want to call that out. Big fan. But yeah, Saber, how you doing? How's everything, my friend? How's life in the universe? And whom are you playing this lovely day/evening?
I'm doing all right, thank you very much. Nothing much going on worth talking about, but I did get vaguely menaced by my dinner. Got a fortune cookie which says, "More surprises are coming your way," and that's not something anyone wants to really hear at the moment, is it?
Oh my God, no.
Thanks for that dinner.
He's great. I'm glad that the surprise wasn't literally in the dinner, where it's just kind of like, something leaps up from your young or something.
The surprise is that wasn't beef.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, we're not frightening us. Who are you playing?
Yes, I'm not being threatened by fortune cookies. Tonight I'm going to be resuming play as a Morthil Gagonian, dwarven artillerist at your service. Currently swimming around underwater in his manta ray cloak. He's not much of a swimmer, but he can go fast. But his technique's terrible.
The technique is not as good. But hey, listen, you've made it down here and you managed to dispatch a group of Sahugin, so far. And you were in your case being towed by Brian, so it worked out. But always a pleasure to have Darksaber with us, and also a pleasure to have Wholesome Horror Gaming, and also previously known as Peripheral Mike Smith with us. Mike, it's good to see you. How's everything with you, my friend? How's life in the universe and all that? And who are you playing this evening?
Yeah, it's going all right. Hello, my spooky lovelies. I hope you're all doing fantastic this evening. not an awful lot new in my world. I've just been playing spooky games over on my channel. Recently played a very, very good standout game, only available on other platforms, unfortunately, but it is called Creature Kitchen. I do hope it comes to GOG.com soon, but I would definitely recommend it if you can check it out. It's our only perfect game of the year so far, so that's and we play. If you know anything about me, we play a lot of games. Oh boy, we play a lot of games. Yeah, so tonight I'm going to be stepping into the spooky shoes of Silvo Janus Betulus, our aberrant mind half-elven sorcerer, who has kind of got more of a handle on his magic now and unfortunately is underwater. And he's not the biggest fan of being underwater, especially when there's dead things in the water that shall not be named. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
I am excited to see if he can handle what lies beneath, as they say. I've realized, by the way, that anytime you begin anything with that sort of a construction, that which remains, what lies beneath, like it's always something ominous, that's part of this process. So, today we shall see what awaits us in the dark and the cold of the under ocean, as they say. But always a pleasure to have Mike with us. Good to see you again. Good to see Inanda again as well. Inanda has also returned. Inanda, it's good to see you. How's everything in your neck of the woods, and who are you playing this evening?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Ticking along, rolling with the punches, you know how it is. But yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. On my channel, I've been playing a lot of Date Everything,
I saw that.
which is a bit like a fever dream in a brilliant way. But other than that, I'm still retraining at the moment, so that seems to be going well. But today I shall be playing Brine the Bloodthirsty, who is a water genasi fighter pirate. We are underwater at the moment, which is kind of her zone.
Yeah.
Although she's quite disturbed about the eel that shall not be named. And yeah, looking forward to today. And also the mental image of like towing Morthwell around while he clanks off rocks is something that's going to live rent free in my mind forever.
That was a good time. Always a pleasure to have Inanda with us. Thank you, Inanda. And last but certainly not least, someone who I have been playing with in another campaign elsewhere, and we were talking about how there are a lot of there's a sort of a green kind of constant about these characters, not necessarily just the name, but that is Undeveloped Bruce. It's good to see you, Bruce. How are you doing since the last time I saw you in another world far, far away, as they say? And who are you playing today?
Hello, yes, I am doing very well, thank you. I finally got round to starting work on the garden. So I've got dahlias and lilies planted and a sambucus, which is a very ominous black tree with black leaves that is going to grow in the corner. It's a vibe, it's a whole thing. I'm very excited, but it is growing behind a very pink hydrangea paniculata. So,
Perfect.
Nice contrast.
Battling for the soul of your garden, as it were.
Yeah. So yeah, and today I am playing Green, who is a turtle cleric. I had to double check. I've got a lot of green creatures that I'm playing recently. And yeah, do you know what? I don't think he was particularly attached to that eel. So it's all fine. And he's fine being underwater. He can hold his breath for like an hour, so
yeah,
that
should be okay. I imagine you won't be at all, in there for longer than that.
Yeah.
But no, always a pleasure to have Bruce with us. And let's fire up the music here, which is Sunken Temple. Can't imagine why. And talk a little bit about what happened in our last session. The crew, after many adventures and after many ups and downs, have decided to go all the way down, by which I mean down below the surface of the water, where they must reconnoiter and do work to investigate the Sahuagin Fortress. Now, this is an interesting sort of final stage, chat, for those of you who are used to Dungeons & Dragons events, because it does not necessarily lead to an epic final battle. In fact, theoretically, if there is an epic final battle, that's probably something has gone off the rails a bit, because this crew is acting in this case as a strike force. The Sahuagin, which now finally everyone somewhat late to the party have decided is indeed a threat, have taken over the fortress formerly owned by the lizard folk, and have turned it into something that allows them to launch this coming assault upon all of Middle-earth. This coming assault upon all of the coast. And the issue that they're dealing with is that the Sahuagin generally are too disjointed and disconnected to do that. Why have they been brought together? Well, there are some theories as to why that might be the case. The fact that, for example, several characters, including Oceanus, played by Fleos, who's not with us today, but also Silvo has had some encounters with this darker mind that may be sort of controlling all the Sahuagin and preparing to attack the good coastal people and the bad coastal people in Greyhawk. And so the crew has been sent with the following goals, and there are 4 of them basically. First of all, to determine the strength of the Sahuagin force, how many warriors and lieutenants and other battle forces there are, battle-ready troops that are present. You don't have to give exact numbers, but it would be kind of impressive if you did. But anyway, the numbers that are actually facing them. 2, to locate important areas within the fortress where the warriors are barracked and the officers are quartered and the leaders housed. 3, discover any significant defensive measures like traps and areas that were readied specifically for defense and other dangers that the attacking force must avoid or overcome. And 4, discover how advanced the Sahuagin preparations are and when they might mount their first attack. This is interesting because what this means is that really the people deciding when they're done with this area is partially these folks themselves. They may decide after, I was telling them in the green room that, I don't know, you could go one more room and be like, yep, we got this, let's go. And then they could head out, and then the attacking force would run into a buzzsaw because they don't actually know what it is that they're facing. This crew, on the other hand, could also try to investigate a lot more of the fortress to discover what's there. And they're supposed to do so, I say in quotes, stealthily, so as not to bring the entire weight of the Sahuagin fortress down upon them. In fact, they went to another portion of the level, and I don't know whether I have this down. Oh, yes, I do. So there was one point.
Pretty
where
sure we
they
felt
were
like the
down
mustering grounds,
here.
didn't we? It certainly seemed like it.
And you can see the mustering grounds there. There were, let's see.
Looks map to me.
Yeah, there were a
pretty
bunch of
much.
things there. We had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It was
There were about
very
like
much a
Written down
40.
77.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
right.
Very much a Saruman walking out onto his balcony moment with the scores of soldiers.
Right.
Just
With Wormtongue with a tear down his a single tear.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it is, and that's just this mustering area. We don't know what is in the rest of the place. So the party recognizes that they may be a little outmatched. I mean, I have great respect for them, but at level 6, I don't think they're going to take on the whole fortress by themselves. So that means they have to decide this. So they came into this area, managed to push by the body of, first they didn't know what was blocking, and then they realized it was the body of this enormous giant eel. Managed to pull that out of the way, stopped a group of Sahuagin, 1, from continuing to torture this creature, about whom more in a moment, and 2, without making them set off the alarm that would have warned everyone that they were there. And so now they are standing looking at this Lokatha, who has introduced himself as Borges, who I'm just going to continue to call Jose Luis Borges because it amuses me, and has asked them, please tell me, do you know where my eel is? Please find me my eel. And so the party is here. They have their 4 objectives. They have this stuff that here, and they have a Lokatha looking at them. And so with that, I'm going to hand things over to the party. Borges is looking at you sort of soulfully and saying, do you know where my eel could be found, friends?
Green's just found like a especially dirty patch of wall, and he's just gonna be over here washing this bit of wall. You've all got this.
I'm back here with Silvio. I don't want to crowd the area.
very, very sorry to say this, but I think the Sahuagin might have had a hand in killing Uriel.
And
I believe he might be dead.
Borges sort of looks at you and is like, stares, and his eyes open, and of course there's not going to be any sobbing in the underwater, but is just sort of like looking, and then, oh, You don't mean dead, do you?
We made the sea hamster sad.
Yes, that's normally what people mean when they say dead, as in no longer alive.
But I raised him from just a little minnow. That's what an eel baby is called. I don't actually recall.
Oh.
He has been my companion through many adventures. I should have known this could happen.
All right, Silvo is going to
He
swim.
kind
Up
of
to
turns around with his head sort of just
He's gonna
down.
put his hand on his shoulder and go, I am really very sorry for your loss, but there is a time to grieve and there is a time to seek safety. You are in great danger here, so we need to get you somewhere safer.
And he turns to you, and his eyes are flashing, and he says, "If you think I am going to leave this place without bringing my vengeance home to the Sahuagin, you are wrong. There will be hundreds who die." And now his voice is like, like, bouncing off the walls, like sonar wise, like like, I will face the feels like it's starting to rock, literally. Like, he is infuriated.
I have no doubt. I'm just going to put my hands up. I have no doubt of your skill, swordsman. I have no doubt of your skill at all. But your anger and retribution is misplaced. Right now, we are in the belly of the beast. To slash out here would be a mistake and would not be honorable of the memory of your dear departed eel.
He now, as you've been speaking, he's you see that he has at his back this lashed, what looks like a spear of some kind, and he pulls it free. And as he pulls it free, you can see that it's notched, and like there are many like marks on both the handle and the tip of this really kind of like a harpoon might be the way to describe it. And he says, "There is one notch in this handle for every creature that I have killed, and this handle will be unrecognizable when I am done. I do not, stranger, expect you to follow me, but I must seek vengeance for my lost friend." You see his knuckles are, I can't say that they're white because it's, a Lokotha, but like they are gripping like this around the handle of the spear.
Then
We've had like a level 20 Lokotha. You think he just got waylaid. He's talking a good game.
Yeah, no, he absolutely is. Again, I have no question about your ability or your attributes, my dear Lokotha, but there is a great host here and many more notches than can fit on that single shaft. I would ask that you only join us from a position of strength. There are many amongst us that have reason to dislike and hate the Sahuagin, but to lash out separately would mean our entire destruction. To lash out collectively would give us the best chance of victory, especially, and he looks him dead in the eye, as there is a darker force driving this threat.
I would like a persuasion check from you, please.
Okay.
While this is going on, Morthwell's going to be searching the guards, just for the record.
Can
Get in there before someone else does.
I was gonna say, could I cast guidance on
Sure.
our friend?
What does guidance do? Can you remind me?
Adds a D4.
That's a 15 then.
15. Also a reminder to those in chat that if you have a persuasion, if you have an inspiration available to you from support on my channel, since this is the first of the month, so I have reset inspirations. So technically, you could use those if you let people know if you have stuff over on my channel. But otherwise, 15. So he kind of like glares at you, and there's a moment where he draws back his spear, Silvo, and there's a moment where you sort of see like there's a little like kind of a glint in his eye, and then he sort of puts the spear at his back and he says, You speak some wisdom. Perhaps I must channel my vengeance, but I will not be left behind. I don't know what great a warrior I could be, but I know that my vengeance will be swift. I will, if you have me, accompany you, but I must warn you that if we are attacked by any more of these, and he looks down at his former torturers, the bodies that are just floating there as Morthwill's looking at them, and he says, these chum, then I will wreak my vengeance upon each one of them.
Very well.
He says, first, can you show me the body of my friend?
Silver nods his head and he starts swimming towards the door. So
Okay.
follow me.
While you two are going over there, Morthwill, I will tell you that as you are, let's see, let me find out exactly what they're carrying, actually. Okay, so here. Right, we go down here. Line must be drawn here. Let me go here. Okay. So they are carrying on them. There's very little that they're carrying other than they do themselves also have these harpoon-like spears. They are spears effectively, but they are designed so that rather than having sort of the two-headed, the two-edged part of a spearhead, right? It just has one that carves back like a hook, so that it's designed like a harpoon would be to stick into someone and then do horrific damage pulling back out or pull them with them. So it is very unpleasant. You don't know if they're poisoned, sort of hard to tell underwater and with everything, like it's not, but they are definitely vicious weapons. And each of these
two of
champions,
those.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And if no one wants to stick him in the bag, you never know when you might need a harpoon.
Okay. You touch like 5 other things. As you're putting it in there. Yeah, exactly. God knows what you're going to draw up from that plane. Yeah. Okay, so you put those things in there. Brian, Green, I know you were working away at that.
No keys or anything?
Cleaning area. No keys. And no like horns or anything like, well, I mean, horns underwater, but no like conch shells or, anything that might be like sort of.
That could have been blown for an alarm, say.
Exactly.
Right. Good to know.
So, Green, I know you're working on that area. What are you doing? I'm also curious about what Brian and Waves are doing, but let me start with Green.
Green, he's working around cleaning some walls, but he's gonna try and look. I suppose, is this another room that's got some like bars on it or something? As he's cleaning the bars, maybe he looks inside to see if it's dirty in there as well.
Yes, in fact. So as you go to that particular one, so they're not bars, but you do hear the sound of something inside. There are these angry snarls coming from within this room, and you hear, wait, sorry, there we go, like this really angry snarling coming from behind this door.
Oh, is it the same as the other door where it's got like a bar that needs lifting to open it?
That is right. There's a bar on the outside of the door. Like one,
Okay,
maybe.
yeah, he'll and there's no like gaps where you can see inside.
No. But you didn't even have to make a perception to hear the snarling. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah. Well, he'll lift up the bar and crack the door open a tiny bit to see how dirty the room is inside. Maybe that's why whoever's inside is so angry,
Okay. So when you open the door, so let me put Borges up
Just
here.
a tiny little crack.
Okay. As you open the door, there is something which smashes against it with great force. I need you to make a strength saving throw for me, please, Green.
Oh no. +2 to strength.
Is this going to be Green's licking the talisman moment?
No, it's
Seventy.
not.
Not bad. So you, with that save, you are able to keep the door from pushing open. If you want to close it back again and put the bar over it, you could do so, Green, but something desperately is trying to get out and is super angry. You can't really get any look at it without it trying to smash through you, though, because of the size of the door and so forth.
What does it sound like? Can we try to gather from the sound what it is?
Make a, let's see, nature check for me, please, Waves.
Okay. A moment.
And in fact, if anyone wants to do that, I would give Brian this nature check also, but Brian, I would give this to you at advantage. I don't think I would give Green that same advantage.
11.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's a noisy.
13.
13. Whatever it is, it's definitely native to underwater regions because the sort of snarling, the rumbling and everything sounds deeper, as if it's coming from something deeper within the creature, as opposed to, vocalized out through the mouth. It's almost like a growling coming from the throat or from the belly. But you don't exactly know what it is. You think you might have heard something like this before, Brian, but not anything specific. Green, if you want to make that same check, well, first of all, I should ask: are you closing the bar again because it was pushing you back?
No, Green's gonna say, roughly translated to, I can let you out, blub blub blub, but not if you're going to eat me.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So, yeah, there's no response. Just a brrr and something slamming again and again into the door.
Okay. I don't have a lot of underwater creatures on here, but I'm gonna try the seal, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try the dolphin. So I'm gonna make seal noises now.
Okay. When you do
Any
that,
reaction?
yes, actually. When you do that, there is a brief sort of pause in the assault upon the door, and then it begins again.
Ah, okay. Well, I tried.
Green's gonna look at our captain, Bloodthirsty, for guidance on whether he should open this door or not.
I don't think I'm the captain, but I will. Can I go up to the door and I can't remember what languages I have. I think I've got primordial.
Sounds right. Do you have Aquan? Or no? I'm not saying that's what works. I'm just asking what languages you have. Somebody has Aquan, I thought. You do Green? Okay. That's what you were doing the blub blub in thing, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask in primordial. We are not your enemies. We are here to save you. Are you?
Slam.
Well, let's. I'll move over to the other cells. Just maybe they're friendlier to us,
Okay.
I'll just walk over to the paladin one and just say, "You do know we're not going to let you out if you keep doing that, right?" And just walk off.
Doesn't seem to even notice.
Right. Well, it failed my reasoning test.
While you were thinking about that, let me jump quickly up to Silvo. So Silvo, you're leading him out to where? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's going to be about here.
I want you all to see in chat what exactly has been drawn here. Unbelievable. Let's just zoom.
That's not me, by the way.
Let's zoom in for a minute. Okay.
It's my colour, but it weren't me. I'm being framed.
What kind of sick person
Okay,
would
we've
do
discovered.
something like that?
There we go.
Nah, nobody would ever do something like that. It just happened.
Borges sees the red X's and is horrified. How dare
Always
no?
blame the artsy one.
You drew on him? Why?
I am appalled. Okay, all right. So Borges follows you, and then when you bring him to the spot where you can just see the body sort of floating there, Borges sort of comes next to you, and then moves up to the exit of the cave and looks out and sort of lowers his head. And then he just sort of like trails off again, goes over to the body of the creature, kind of floats around it a few times, circles it several times. And at first, you're not sure what he's doing, Silvo, and then you realize that he's sort of like, there's some kind of ritualistic aspect to circling this. And then he does it one last time and says, "Maybe this we embrace you as well I did." And he puts a hand on the shoulder, the back, I guess, of the eel, and sort of leaves it there for a good 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And then he bows his head and comes over to you, and he says, "I have done what must be done. Now the ocean will take back its own. Let us return. My vengeance awaits."
Is there anything I can do to assist in prayer or offer solace?
And he looks at you, his eyes flashing, and he says, "Make sure that each of your blows against these chum is swift."
He places a hand on the Locust's shoulder, goes, "I can surely guarantee that. Come. Whilst we may need to be quiet in our approach, if your actions call for your vengeance to be unleashed upon them in this place, then so be it."
And he nods and he says, "I am grateful. I am not by nature violent, but when violence finds me, I will be found at home." And he glances at you and then says, "Then let us come, friends." Actually, have you introduced yourselves name-wise to this one?
No.
Okay.
No
So he
worries.
says,
I will do that. I will do that as part of this back and forth.
okay. So he says, let us go then, Silvo. Your friends have many things to find. I will help with what I know."
I appreciate that, thank you. On the journey back through the tunnel, I'm going to give him a quick rundown of why we're here specifically. So
Okay.
like what we're looking for, why we need to be quiet, that sort of thing. The
Okay.
massive host room we already found.
So he listens to that as you get back through, and when you get back through the door, this has all been happening more or less simultaneous to the whole stuff going on with the getting in the cells and all that stuff. When he sees that, he says, "Oh yes, that is a fearsome creature. But if you try to release it now, you will find it might, attempt anyway to destroy you. But fortunately, he is not alone." And he swims over here, and he points at the cell door to the north of him here. And he says, and he, doof, 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 like on the door, and he says, Kimish, are you here?" And there's a sort of quiet voice that says, "I am here, Borges. Why are you..." And then there's a pause. "Have you escaped?" "Yes, thanks to these powerful adventurers. But your mount has grown restless." And Kish from inside, the voice says, "Please then allow me to see what I may do to calm him." And Borges kind of looks at all of you and points and says, "It is his master." And like looks at the bar that's on the door of this cell.
Release him.
And so he
Green's holding this door shut, and he's also sort of, giving one of his meditation spiels to this creature that's inside this other door. Like, you're on a calm ocean. There are no big dead eels floating around.
So Kish comes out. Now Kish is a Triton. And Triton are underwater creatures. In fact, let me see if I can show you what they look like specifically.
Are they very small?
They're not necessarily small, though his icon is, his little token is
tiny.
But no, he is, let's see, up there we go. Tritons, in fact, tend to look somewhat humanoid in nature. And I am going to show you an example of that in just a second. There's this. What? Oh, whoops. I accidentally opened the wrong thing. Never mind all of that.
River.
A bit like human-y mer people.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong button.
Wasn't
Okay.
Oceanus a Triton?
Yes, Oceanus is a sea elf, but Triton is another way to put it. So yes.
Okay.
So this is what I meant to open, not the thing that literally opened 5 windows just now that I didn't mean to do. Okay. So one second. I'm just giving you a picture so we know what we're dealing with here. So he's about medium height, I should say. Maybe about, I don't know, 5.5 feet, maybe. So not, not tall by any means, but not tiny. And if I can ever get to the adventures that I need. There we go. There's that, and there's that, and there's that. Great. Okay, sorry about the delay. I apologize. All right, now I'm going to show this on OBS so you can all see what Kish looks like. And he looks like... God, too many nested folders. Okay, he looks like this. There we are. So you can see what Kish looks like as he comes out. Somewhat, some similarities definitely to Oceanus. And he comes out. I'm going to increase the size. Actually, technically, his token is more accurate because of the size, theoretically, than all of these people, but it's okay. This is easier for us to see. And he nods as he comes out, and he sort of, nods to Borges, and he says, "It is good to see you, my friend." And Borges says, "Likewise. But now, as you can see, you must attend to your mount." And Green is like, still doing the, it's okay. And so Kish comes over and says, "It's all right. You can allow him out now."
And Green's just gonna let the door open wide and finally get a look at how dirty this room is.
It's a pretty dirty room.
Oh, he's got his work cut out for him.
It is a pretty dirty room, and also, you are looking at essentially an enormous sea lion, is more or less the way you would describe it. And as the thing... Exactly. As the thing comes forward...
I wondered if it was a Kenku faking.
And it's sort of like, it comes out, and as the door opens, it lunges towards you, Green. But Kish is right there, and it sees Kish, and then kind of does this float back thing slightly, and Kish comes over, and "It is all right, my friend. There's one miserable," and then begins to murmur some stuff to it, and petting it. You do think, actually, Green, that it is speaking in Aquan, but in a sort of gibberish. It's like, Oh, like, I often say to my orange cat when petting it, oh, handsome cat, orange cat, handsome cat. Like, it's not, very involved, right? That's more or less what this is. And it quickly sort of, this thing is probably only a little a little smaller on 4 feet than Kish is on 2. This is a very, very big sea lion, and it sort of drifts out slowly. Green, if you want to go to the left of that door, I don't know if you do, but if you're okay doing it, it would looks like it wants to move into that space. And it sort of drifts around, and its fierce eyes look at all of you. And Kish says, "I am sorry, but he has been tortured by these terrible creatures, and it will listen to little other than me. Therefore, I would not be surprised that it saw you as another torturer. But he is well made for this moment." And he pets him and says, "This is Coral." So apparently they tortured this sea lion as they were torturing Borgus. And Kish turns to Borgus and says, "Perhaps now we may also free your eel." And Borgus, looks to the ground, and immediately Kish is like, "Oh, no, please. You mean they have..." And Borgus says, "Yes, they have killed him." And Kish sort of lowers his head, and even Coral lowers its head like it knows. And
they were seal and eel.
Mm-hmm. Eel and seal.
Seal and eel no more.
And
They tortured the pets instead of the owners?
oh, well, not instead of. You get the impression they just tortured everything.
I mean, torturing the pets is torturing the owners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still, if you want to get information, it seems this very indirect way.
I might not have been trying to get information. They seem a bit for the lulz kind of evil.
And as Silvo comes through the door, because Borgus had gone with him, Borgus actually and Kish tell you that, they say, Borgus says, "Kish was found soon after me. We were captured from our places of the ocean and brought here to their fortress. We thought they would ask us questions, and they did at first, but then simply harmed us and our companions. They did so, they said, to show us what would happen to all who opposed them."
Green sort of nods and he says, "I understand. These adventurers saved me from a not dissimilar situation on a ship of followers of that deathly snake lady. Not snake. What was she? She was a spider lady, wasn't she? Loth. They were going to eat me."
And Green, I don't want to make assumptions about what you felt in the past, but if you ever felt like you would say they were going to eat me, and people were like, "No, it's okay, we won't eat you," when you say it, and it's nice, but you don't know whether it's whether they really get the gravity of, "No, I don't want to be eaten," right? When they say that, Borgus swims over to you and says, "That is terrible, that they would have threatened to eat you. You are not something to be eaten, but to be respected." And his eyes flash, and there's a little bit of his own anger. And Kish says, "I agree. How anyone could eat underwater creatures, except perhaps the bodies of these things." And he kind of looks down at them, and he says, "But no, even then, we are not cannibals. We will not consume the creatures of the sea. You all remember that Batman cartoon of this is the weapon of the enemy, we will not use it, we will not touch it. It's this thing where he's breaking a gun in half, and he's basically saying we will not use it. This is very much the vibe, like we will not be like them. You're not sure whether Borges got the memo, but definitely that's what Kish thinks. Regardless, though, they are both green, like totally engaged with your worry and like horrified that anyone would think of doing that.
Yeah. Green's never felt so seen in his life, and as a gesture of thanks, he's going to cast prestidigitation on them because they're dirty.
So they seem a little surprised. They're like, and Coral's like, at least this thing is like cleaning them. But everyone eventually calms down, and Kish now says, "But we thank you, but why are you here?" Because Silvo's talked to Borges, but has not talked. No one has talked to anyone else about what you're all doing here.
Yeah, I said this once already. Someone else can field this one.
Hey, we need to know about this place. How many they are, how they're moving. Everything we can find out without tipping a hand.
And Kish says, "So you were planning an attack?"
We will create outer peace. It's like
Through inner hell.
inner peace, but instead of being inner, it's out.
Is that just a euphemism for smacking someone over the head with a stick?
I sure hope so.
I mean, you looking at Green and asking that question of like the pacifist here.
Good points. just Green's just staring at me. I'm like, yeah, I feel stupid now.
So Borges and Kish sort of look at each other, and then they say, "We have not gone far, unfortunately. When we were brought here, we were put into these cells. We know only of the cells that are here, and beyond this place we know that there were guards, Sahuagin, that would come in and out and change shifts. Also, we know that within the last several weeks they have grown particularly vile and fierce and savage. Before that, they were captors, but not evil creatures. Now," and he kind of looks down at them, "they have received what they deserve." And so basically Borges and Kish tells you that they both tell you they are absolutely willing to accompany you here because they both have their reasons for it, although Kish talks less about vengeance than Borges does, but they're both willing to do that. And they will certainly help you sort of like with different aspects of dealing with the Sahuagin in terms of battling them, but they don't have a lot of knowledge beyond this room and the cells that you haven't yet opened. Otherwise, they've been kept here, apparently.
Do you know if there are any other captives in these cells?
"I have heard that there are," Kish says. "As did Alare," Borges says. "But they all are on different levels of this fortress, and in some places they may be kept where we ourselves did not hear of them. I think that other prisons may have more fearsome creatures, not friendly either to us or to the Sahuagin. Not friendly like, say, Coral here." And Coral's like, "Rrr," like sort of looking over at Green. Although not angry, more or less just in a constant state of, "I'm ready to be pissed off," is what you get the impression is Coral. So there may be elsewhere in the fortress, but if so, probably more dangerous creatures that even the Sahuagin don't talk about much.
Okay. What about, I'm assuming these cells as well?
They are. And they can
Okay.
tell you what they think's in each of them if you want.
That sounds
Yes,
like a
please.
good idea.
Unfortunately, not super exciting. This one is apparently empty, according to Borges. At least was as of last check. And the one that Morthwheel is in front of is the cell in which Borges was residing before he was removed to be tortured.
Yeah. All right.
So, I mean, you could open the doors if you want, but that's what they tell you.
Yeah, I'd like to open the doors.
Okay. Which one first? The
one next to Waves.
Okay. You can see that it does look indeed to be an empty cell. You do note that there are bits of what might be described as like maybe a scale might be floating around here, as if there was something that might have been kept here but no longer is.
Okay.
Green cleans that right up.
Okay.
Can't be doing with that.
Okay. But that's pretty much all you see here.
I'd also like to ask Borges, how often do the Sahugan shift change in here?
Every 4 to 6 cycles, I suspect. This last time they had arrived not long before you did, and had pulled me from my cell to torture me as they often did. So you get the impression that this shift wasn't here for longer than maybe like an hour, and that shifts usually ran more 4 to 6 hours would be their guess.
Okay, so at least we know we've got a few hours before we're definitely discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd like to have a really good listen at this gap here.
Okay. You can definitely do that. Let me have a perception check, please.
Can indeed. Perception, yes?
Yes.
16.
Yeah. Without too much difficulty, you can hear. Now, I am slightly hand waving this a bit. I am aware that sound travels differently underwater, so I know that like when I talk about like the roar of something or whatever, you have to sort of put that under the context of, you know, think about swimming underwater and what it sounds like there. However, sounds for chat travel actually faster and farther underwater than they do up in the open air, which is one reason why whales are so sensitive to the sound. Whales and dolphins are sensitive to sounds underwater, which, side note, is another reason that I got involved with an environmental organization when I found out that the Navy had been using sonar weapons that literally caused damage to the eardrums of whales, at which point I'm like, F them into the sun. You know, and fortunately the Navy does not do that anymore, thanks to public pressure. But anyway, that angered me so much for some reason. I don't know why. Regardless, whales and dolphins and underwater creatures can hear things from great distances. So, as you listen, Brian, to the door, you can hear in the distance, not that far, probably, maybe 120, 130 feet to the south. You hear the sound of roaring and a horn sounding, and then the sound of something hitting stone. Like,
Whoa! And what again just reminded of the Saruman scene from Lord of the Rings.
yeah, a little bit. Whatever it is,
remind me
though,
of
there's
that,
a
'cause-
lot of sounds. So, sorry, Green.
No, it wasn't great. It was just me saying we can't keep bringing up that Saruman scene because all I can think of is the Trollolol version
Oh,
of
no.
it.
Right. The other... Do you know how the Sahugan came to be? Anyway, so yeah, there sounds like a lot of creatures making that roaring sound, Brian, about 120, 130 feet to the south. You can also see, I mean, I'll tell you this, you can also see that a hallway does extend, like, down here, and the sound that you're hearing is coming from, and I will, for chat's benefit, is coming from there, somewhere in the murky darkness.
And I can't hear anything like closer than that.
You cannot, but it frankly might get drowned out a little bit by that loud sound of some crowd roaring.
Okay. There is definitely something down here. A lot of somethings. sounds like marching, or and they are there's definitely a few horns being raised.
Kish says,
So
there's a reason for that. That sound you hear must be coming from the arena. We heard of it, Borges and I, but we were never brought to that place. The arena, they say, is where creatures fight for the amusement and inspiration of the Sahuagin.
Do you know anything else about this specific area? Like the area that we're in right now? Were you brought here a specific way, or were you blindfolded or something?
I was unconscious, Cash says, when I was brought here. And Borges says, I was awake, but I was brought through the tunnel that you, Silvo, brought me through. I have not seen further than this place, but I have also heard of this arena. And there are, there's definitely hallways you can see, Brian, by the way, that like extend east-west, before you get to whatever the arena would be, assuming that sound is coming from the arena. But yeah, there's definitely an arena of some kind if that's true, because you can hear the sounds.
Can I ask, did you ever hear, this is to Kish and Borges, did you ever hear of the Sahuagin mention anybody important, like a lieutenant or a captain or a champion or something like that?
Borges, who has been there longer, says, I heard of one. There are apparently a baron and a baroness, and I know the baron's name is Kepmak. They said, one of the guards, that Baron Kepmak was young and clever and ambitious. One of the guards said they thought that he would eventually rule, but the other said that the baroness would make sure that did not happen. I know only of those as leaders, though the Sahuagin must have many. So Kepmak is Kepmak, by the way.
Cool, thank you.
Though I wish it were Capmac, Byron, because I feel like that would look better.
Baron Big Mac.
Baron Big Mac, exactly. The special sauce of,
I think that before we left to come here, we were given. I know that the landscape's changed because this fortress has been submerged, but we did have a map of what it looked like originally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's got that map. I think it might
I
be
would guess
Mortwell.
maybe.
I'll pull out my bag of holding if no one else has it.
Yeah, no,
I don't
We'll just
remember
assume it's
that.
there.
There was a general
We
map.
were given a
Good.
rough map, yeah.
Right, and the emphasis on rough. It is true that this level that you're on, because remember, this is like the lowest level of what you had, basically, because there's 3 levels to this place, as far as you know. You took the underwater cave route to go down to this lowest level, and so you do see on the map that there was a large central area, which had been carved out presumably by the lizard folk. On the map, it looks like a natural cave. You don't know whether it still is like that now. That was roughly in the center of the area, and it is south of the area where you would have been now. But the map doesn't have a lot of details, and already, like, these cells and everything, there doesn't look like anything like that on the map that you have in front of you. So either the Sahuagin have done a lot of work, or the lizard folk are not particularly, detailed in their map making, or a combination.
But it looks like the area that was carved out could roughly be about 120 foot away
Yes.
from where we roughly are.
Yes.
Okay.
To your south, yes.
I think we do need to explore a bit more. I know that we're going to have to do it very, very carefully. We need to prepare for whatever dangers face us. We need to find out what kind of army's there, even if we can just find somewhere to observe. The arena sounds like an important area, but there are other levels to this fortress, and we don't know what defensive measures they've got yet. So I think we need to push on.
I can provide an hour of invisibility for myself or someone else. Maybe someone a bit more sneaky inclined. I think I remember Silvo bragging about some such
I can
thing
do
as
the
well.
same. Yeah, I can probably do the same for
Wait a
someone
minute.
or myself.
When did we switch roles? It's supposed to be me saying that. But yeah, I can provide some invisibility, and also, I do still have that mining explosive.
And Kish
You
says,
thinking about
Oh,
just
good.
collapsing the whole fortress?
If an opportunity presents itself, we have that as an option. Even if we have to make an exit by blowing a hole in a wall in a hurry, because,
Yep.
you know, we have a reputation.
Because diplomacy fails.
Honestly, I think it working that one time kind of skewed our perspective.
Yeah, but you never know.
It's true.
I mean, if we know that
Oh no, I'm going, oh, didn't think of that. Oh no.
It's very cool. I
Oh,
now
we-
figuring out where to put it's going to be fun, but I hadn't thought
That's
about
what I've
that.
had. I've just been sitting on it this whole time going, it's going to, at some point, I'm going to be able to go, I've still got the mining explosive.
Did they at all point out which was the singular load-bearing column in this entire structure for it?
Also, that explosive you had was for a mine that's in the air, right? Not a fortress that's in the water. So you got some artificing work to do to think about how to get an explosive to blow up in an ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've seen the Abyss. I'm here
If
for it,
only I had means of generating magical fire, but alas.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's very cool, though. I hadn't thought about that. Anyway,
Well, we'll see. I'm not saying let's make this happen, but let's put that in our pockets.
Yeah. Also, you do have someone who could technically come back from the dead if they were just holding the bomb and then
Captain
cast
Scarlet
flame
over
on
here.
it.
really is the Abyss. Oh, my God.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get all Independence Day on us, but
Yeah, to go back to Lord of the Rings again, yeah, you could do like the Urukai at Helm's Deep.
a little bit. A little
Yep.
bit. Why is there a wet elf running towards the captain? Wait, what is he holding?
Bring him down.
So, yeah, so
So we've got
invisibility
options, people. It's what
and
we're
a big
saying, we've got
explosion.
options.
Okay.
Granted, the two are very, very different approaches.
So we could potentially scupper the Sahugans' attack preemptively.
What was above that mustering area?
The mustering
Awful
area-
lot of ceiling above them there. Be a shame if it were to collapse.
Yeah, shame if something what's happened to you.
Do you mean the southern entrance that we went to?
Yeah, the one where you kind of had to pull me away.
Yes. There was a ceiling, if I remember rightly. It was 80 feet down. So
Could be flooded.
that's a possibility, but there's lots of entrances. If we did bring the fortress down, we would have to make sure we closed all of the entrances or exits to the fortress.
Aye.
Otherwise,
Yeah, or we might need to use it as an emergency exit rather than to destroy the place. Because if they already know we're here, a big explosion so that we can make a sharp exit doesn't matter
Or-
so much.
or we blow up almost all of the exits, leaving one very narrow passageway for them to escape. And
I only have the one explosive though.
oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah, it's a big one, but there's only
Could
one.
you not artifice it into some small hand grenades?
Why don't you just split
Well,
it? That's
not
how it
right
works, right?
now,
You just cut
no.
it into
No.
quarters, and then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that's how it works, right?
It's just made out of C4, right? You just sort of slice it up like
C1, 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 C1.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you make.
That's it. We get all the gunpowder out. We cut it with pepper to make it last longer.
Yeah, sure. This all works. I did, for chat's benefit, zoom out to show you that they are at the top of the level, and the place they previously went to was in the southern side of the level.
there's
So,
the
like,
context.
that shows you a little bit of the size. Also, that Kish is not that large relative to the map. It just So let's do that. So anyway, it shows you what might be in the middle, and the sound that we were talking about, the roaring and so on, is coming from here. So like more or less equidistant between those two spots.
Okay, so if we need to use it, we just need to know where's the smartest place to use it. Basically, I do like the idea of having it as an emergency exit or an emergency block this passage because they're all chasing us moment.
Hey, yes.
There
yeah,
are
I do-
3 entrances or exits from here. Am I right?
From the big cave, you mean, or from where?
Just in the fortress in general, from the information we've got.
Yes, yes, one on each of the levels, technically. Yes, that's right. Although at least one of the 2 of the exits, 2 of the entrances rather, are the one to the north and the south of here. So beyond that, there is So there's a set of I found it. Sorry. So there's a set of double doors that you can see from the surface that you saw that before. The second is a small cave, which is the one that you actually ended up going through that led to these cells. And the third one is a wide opening. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong about that. So it's not to each level. There's one to the top level that you didn't do, and then 2 entrances to this bottom level. The middle level you can't get to from the outside. You have to do it by going through the fortress. So one of them to the south that you tried to begin with, or you looked to begin with, and then this one to the north that you've gone instead to get to the cells.
Okay. Yeah, I think we still need to push on, but I do like potentially being able to at least block some of these creatures in if we need to.
Yeah. So we've got options in regards to invisibility. I can turn at least 3 creatures invisible. So, but that's kind of, then I'm spent after that point. I don't know what Mothwell can do.
Just to check on that though, isn't your invisibility a concentration?
It is, yes.
So you'd only be able to maintain it on one person at a time, isn't it? I don't know. Is that how it works with concentration?
I actually don't know. That's a good question.
No, if the spell says that it's you and an additional person, then the concentration is one iteration of that spell, which would cover both of you. If you have 2 slots, like 2 separate spells, Silvo, then you couldn't cast both of them at the same time. But if you're talking about one spell for 2, that one concentration handles both.
Oh no, it would be so I can just turn one person invisible because I don't have any 3rd level spell slots available.
So it's separate
I
slots.
cast 2
Okay,
people.
yeah. So then just one at a time.
So me or somebody else, basically.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy, but I think we both got the same invisibility spell.
Yeah.
But still, it's an hour of invisibility for. But 2. We can make 2 people invisible at once, or stagger it, however we think might be best. That said, that still puts us in a. What's good having invisible people if you got to make the rest of the party sneak anyway, because that's always the. For many years, I've come to dread the group stealth roll.
Yeah.
For good reason.
It's not a good idea to get a group stealth roll.
It's either that or we split the party.
That's the problem, yeah.
What problem?
I have interest, Mothwell. Is yours invisibility? Like
yes.
Stock invisibility. Is that spell slots or
Spell slots, yeah.
spell slots? Okay.
So it's a level 2 spell for me.
So we could get 2 people invisible, send them off for 30 minutes in a direction, 30 minutes back, do a bit of scouting, then recast it, and then 2 more people go off.
I got a free one. Yeah, I've got a free use because I got spell refueling ring. So yeah, there we go. Problem.
So we could basically set up shop here, sort of thing, quite close to the exit. It does mean that some people will have to just sort of mill about while the others nip off, and then come back. What I would probably say is, I'll stay here and maintain contact with one of the people who are invisible, so we can know if they're in trouble.
Good thinking.
Bit of radio chatter.
People least likely to make noise would be
Yeah, other than actually us all going and only 2 of us being invisible, like that strategically, I think that would work best.
We're not really splitting the party, really.
No, we're not.
It's not really
We're
splitting the
sending an
party.
advanced group. We're sending a strike force of the strike force. It's fine.
You're iteratively altering the party's structure.
Yeah.
That's what you just gradations of the party.
It's the tip of the spear. That's what we like
We're
to call
still in the same building. We're not split up.
Yeah, sure. Right. If you zoom out far enough, everyone's together.
it. No one can see you. You haven't
On a
left the
cosmic
party.
scale, are you ever truly solo?
Exactly.
I've met 4 of
I
you in
feel like
person
I'm
right
not
now.
alone at.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm not alone at home if somebody else is in the house with me.
I
Yes,
see.
exactly.
Okay. Where home in this case is a waterlogged fortress crawling with hostile creatures.
Hey,
They stole it.
They did.
so I guess volunteers for the scouting party.
Right. Well, I'm out because I need to be the radio tower.
I just prod my armor, which clanks.
I lift
Don't
my
say a
hand.
thing, just cling.
So are you, Mirthwill, are you moving your character back by Silva? Like all this sort of not going on this mission group
Yeah. No.
is
I'll
going
be back.
just
Yeah,
just
no.
tell you, I'm over here.
Yeah. Kish says
I lift my arm.
Kish says, I would go with you, but I am not sure. And Coral's like, he's like, I'm not sure that Coral as a scout would be as effective.
He's a good boy, though.
Coral and Kish, the aforementioned
good
good
to see you,
boy,
Poppy.
swims past you.
Yeah,
I will go.
I lift my hand.
Okay.
Cool.
Borges says, I may accompany you. I can be quiet if need be.
So Morthal's just pulled out what looks like it's just a giant lens attached to a head strap.
Okay.
I found that if you do the lens just right, everything underneath it disappears. So I hold it out for Brian or Waves to strap onto their head.
I think Brian has a helmet, but I don't, so I take it.
It's not really a helmet. It's just that's how I have decided my invisibility is going to work. You have to wear a
It's
special
like
lens.
one of those big old-fashioned doctor's reflectors.
Yeah. Green, are you going with the scout party or are you staying behind?
Have we already filled up our invisible contingency?
I can only make one person invisible, and I'm not sure what Mothwell can do.
Just one person invisible
Just one
for an
person, so we're
hour
on two-
concentration.
two- yeah, so 2 people go out, come back.
Okay.
So we need Team A and Team
But-
B, essentially.
I in anticipation of still having to make stealth rolls, I don't think I should go because my armor is.
No, that's
Well,
At
I'm just
best, I
saying
will be doing it
somebody-
without disadvantage under here. I think. Sorry, go ahead, Byron.
Just saying, maybe somebody should go with me who afterwards is able to tell the other people what we've seen.
I'm
Well, you could
absolutely going
draw
with
it.
you.
Actually, can a draw something they've seen, like reproduce it? That is in like a tableau.
Well, I can copy drawings, but I'm not like
That's what I mean. But if
I cannot draw.
Yeah.
I cannot draw you a movie of what I've seen any better
Yeah.
than you could.
Animated.
we're
Right,
not
yeah.
sending you
So
out-
you couldn't draw what you've seen, but
So we're not
Yeah,
sending
but
you out
not,
on
not,
your own.
not. I couldn't simplify it, so that
but if you'd
wouldn't
seen
help.
a drawing of what you'd seen, then
Yes.
it'd be oh boy.
Oh boy, you'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, but I cannot like simplify things because that would be an artistic vision that I don't have.
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to
Okay.
check. Thank you.
So I would recommend explain to Borges that the first team needs to go out and then come back about half an hour later, and then when he'll be part of the next team that goes out. So the first team would be Brine and
Yeah.
Waves.
And I'll mark off. Yeah, I'll mark off my spell restoring ring as used for now. And let me just double check when it I think it's every day, but I
Who
was a
did-
long rest.
Who did you give that to? Was
Next
it-
dawn. Not spell refueling ring. That's mine.
No,
but I'm using that to.
the headlamp.
I think Waves picked it up. Yeah.
Waves. Okay, Brian, I'm going to come over and just touch your shoulder, and you are invisible.
I'd also like to ask Morthwell, if you're not coming with us, can I borrow your goggles?
Oh
for
yeah,
a short
of course.
That's
I
a
doubt.
bloody good
Hand them
idea.
over.
And just to double check, the goggles let me see further. Is that right?
That's right. Let me just double check my notes. It's
Ooh.
down here somewhere. The bag of holding list is getting quite long. So yes, you don't have dark vision, do you? So you'll get 60 feet dark vision. And if you do have dark vision, it's 120.
Is it worth them taking
I
the
don't
bag of
have dark
holding?
vision. And you gave
Yes.
me a pebble that lets me
Shiny
like,
pebble. Yeah,
shiny
a little bit of
pebble.
light.
But I'm not going to use that, obviously. Otherwise,
Hey.
being invisible would be a bit redundant.
Hey, and
You
yeah,
can-
like
you can just
Silver
hold the-
said,
You can just hold the pebble in front of you and then like, I'm a little firefly.
Everyone will think you're one of those anglerfish. They'll run away from
oh, that might work. Especially
might.
like Kenki making the sound about. Yeah, Silver, you make a good point there. One of you should take the bag of holding just in case you find any neat, nice stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was specifically tied to you and wouldn't.
No,
work if it wasn't,
especially
that's
not
fine.
this one now. It's been replaced with an actual bag of
Oh, yeah, of
holding.
course,
I've
yeah.
gone from knockoff to the real deal.
Oh yeah, actual branded now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has like MG logo on it. Like,
Yeah, I don't mind taking that, or Waves, if you want to take the bag of holding.
I think you have a better carrying capacity.
Which
I've
one of you
just pushed the
is-
bag in your direction.
Which one of you is more likely to steal anything that's not nailed down? The pirate.
They're both.
I'm not a pirate.
the
no.
ship is
Oh,
ours.
sorry, you know,
Please don't
you're a
defend
ship
the
based,
island.
you're a ship obsessed paladin. Sorry, I
You're just a
forgot.
ship requisition agent. It's absolutely different.
Ship
If you come back and there's a whole
enthusiast.
pirate ship in the bag of holding.
I'll
I'm
be
just very
very
intent on
disappointed.
sailing.
I kind of want to wait to have the bag now. Just trying to fit a ship in it because she doesn't know how it works. She's like,
Just
All right.
squeezing it in.
He just tips out like 12 dead sailors. She's like, well, the ship didn't fit.
oh, I love the idea that I love the bag out and I just get random stuff coming out of it.
Um,
Well,
Oh.
that's now a thing with this group. isn't it?
Clearly,
Right,
I
now
mean, yeah.
you get to take the bag of holding today.
It's like jerky, repairs, dead sailor. Wait, what?
Bones of an ancient creature. What? Where did you go?
all right, so the two scouts here are heading off on their own. Whilst and how far does the range, Silvo, on your radio tower play?
I'm gonna say in miles. So,
Is it really in miles?
I'm pretty sure it is. Telepathic speech.
I'm only moving in green
Uh,
because I lost where Silva was for a minute.
Miles is in my charisma modifier, so 4 miles. A 4 mile
Oh, okay.
radius.
Yeah, I think that's probably fine.
Yes, and just for the hilarity, it's going to be Brian that I speak to because Brian has no concept of inside voice when speaking telepathically.
No, it's always
I,
great.
I can't hear you very well, Mike. Can you say that again?
Oh,
Yes, I'm just going to say I'm speaking to Brian telepathically because Brian, just for the lols, has no concept of inside voice.
Jack, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
While he's lingering here, then Morthwell will take 10 minutes to ritually cast Detect Magic so it doesn't use a spell slot.
All right. Can do
And
that.
just see if that's registering anything of potential interest to maybe give the scout party a direction.
How far does it detect magic?
That is a good question. I should have had that
Silvo goes off
open.
like a Christmas tree.
I was gonna say like green lights up.
Well, yes,
like-
yes. Oh, it's only within 30 feet.
Yep. There's a
Also,
lot of
it
magic
is-
around here.
Yeah, it's also blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, thin sheet of leather. You know what? This is actually kind of useless in this situation.
Yeah,
This
now
is-
all you've got is a very shiny
I'm in a
elf.
Faraday cage. Detect
Yeah.
Magic's going to do nothing. At least for the
much.
cost. Just reminding myself that rituals are a thing, and I could do that. to
No,
save
that's
on stuff.
definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So Brian and
I
yeah.
I take out a little piece of string and offer that to the empty air where I guess that Brian is still standing, so that we might not lose each other.
it begins to float away.
From our point of view, we just see a piece of string.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowhere.
Okay, I
Hey.
need to find Brian. One moment.
We do pretty good work, if I say so myself, Silvo.
Do you know what? This is working out quite well. We should do this more often.
Hey,
I'm
you
So
come up
gonna,
with the
feels
spells
like
the hard
teamwork.
way, and I'll come
Yeah.
up with the cheap knockoff
Okay.
afterwards.
I
Almost
move-
feels
I-
like
I-
teamwork.
I still push these little bits of string into the direction where I think that Brian is and start calling to her.
Brian the Bloodthirsty. What I'm going to do is where I can see the string, I'm going to, because I've got a long coat on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand the hem of my coat to Waves where I can see the string is. Like, I can see the string, but if you hold on to this, you'll know where I am at all times.
I grope Brian's coat.
Okay.
And then hang on to it.
All right.
Right. We're going to be very quiet. Okay.
I nod. Which she cannot see, which is good.
And then I'm going to go, I'm going to just once more go, Silver, check, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's absolutely fine.
He's on the floor, his ears bleeding.
It's just blood floating out of one ear.
Morphel's looking a little concerned.
I'm fine. The squid did worse.
I've seen you bleed more from worse places. to be
That's fair, actually. Yeah, you have.
Quite right, Cyrus. How quiet is too quiet? Go ahead, Nana. Sorry.
I'm also going to whisper to Waves, we're going to try going south, and then should we try east or west first?
Now she learns how to whisper.
I agree.
I agree. East or west?
Okay.
I agree.
Let's try west first. And then I'm gonna
I agree.
and then I'm gonna go, Silvo, we're going to go west first.
You're invisible, not silent. We heard all of your discussion.
You're invisible, not 100 feet away. I can hear you.
We're literally 10 feet away.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
right.
I'm gonna go down here, and then I'm gonna listen to the west,
Okay.
as in this way.
I will, and by
I
the
would
way,
like
I will.
to move stealthily. Please.
I was about to say that. So I will, on occasion, call for stealth checks that will last for a while. And then I'll decide, when I say do another one, that doesn't mean, oh, wait, there's something there. It just means that I'm doing it, at that particular time. Also, I should note that as you look to the south, you get far enough down to be able to see that there are a set of stairs leading down, going towards the noise, which you can still hear coming from the south down these stairs that you can see in front of you. Okay, and then you said you want to make a perception check, so please go ahead and do that.
You want me to roll stealth as well? Because I did say when talking to Brian, to Waves, that we need to be very, very quiet.
Yes, I want you to make a stealth check to start out here. Yes, for sure.
Okay. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to I'm going to keep updating Silvo. Okay, right now I can see ahead of us some stairs that I think are going to go to the arena.
Okay, I don't need every stone explaining. It's fine. Just tell us the big stuff, or if you're in trouble, you'll be okay. Concentrate more on being quiet.
Okay.
I'm being really quiet.
So, with the perception checks that both of you made, the stealth seems fine. You're moving fairly quietly. And obviously, actually, while invisible, I'm pretty sure stealth checks are taken at advantage. So you even could do better than that. But as it is, that's really good for now.
Yeah, I think so.
So to the west and to the east, you see passageways extending in either direction. And, as I said, to the south, a set of stairs that leads, after about 30 feet, there's a set of stairs going downwards as well.
I will try to stop Brian by pulling on the coat, and then I would like to listen to east and west to see if there's a direction that's maybe a bit quieter or something.
Okay. You can make another perception, although I think you pretty much are going to get the same information. They seem about equally loud or quiet, such as it is. You're a little bit distracted by the noise coming from the south, to be honest, so it's a little hard to hear directly. That is a good perception check. You don't think you hear anything particularly one way or the other. They're about the same, and both obviously way quieter than the south.
Okay, in that case, I'll just gonna do like with the horse, like flop, so that Brian knows he can move again.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna again very quietly. Sorry, my puppy's growling in her sleep. I'm gonna start going to the left, to the west.
All right. Okay. You go to the west. I'm not going to call for another stealth check yet. You're going to go to the west here, and passageway extends further to the west, and then you see there is another T-junction that it comes to. Continues on to the west, or you could turn south at that point. And as you move along the passageway, the sounds to the south get quieter, just because you're moving away from them.
Okay. From the very, very basic map that we had that showed what we think could potentially be the arena, can we get some kind of an idea as to how big that is in context with the direction we're moving in?
I don't quite follow what you're asking. Like,
so if on the map, the area where we think the arena is say 100 foot,
right?
Then I'll kind of know further down this route where 100 foot.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you think that probably is slightly outside the confines of the arena, or at least the central cave where your map is. So in other words, that passageway that turns south is probably not turning south into the arena, into the cave. It probably is a little to the west of it.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to continue to sneak down until I get to this junction and then peer around the corner.
Okay.
And listen around the corner.
Now I would like a stealth check from everybody, please. Sorry, just from the two of you, not
I was going to say,
just the
I
scouting
did
part.
just instinctively go to roll for a split second.
No. Sorry.
I'm like, hold on.
Now at advantage because we're invisible?
Yes, you can do this at advantage. And advantage does not mean, incidentally, that you're not, again, invisible doesn't mean silent, but it does give you a strong benefit to it.
Thank you for the advantage. 11.
Okay. And Waves has got a 23. Okay. Yeah, as you peer around, you make kind of a little sound as your sword, your scimitar scrapes against the wall a bit, but you don't see anything hurrying in your direction. You do see that the passageway here extends downwards to the south a good length of time, or a good length of space before you no longer see where it goes.
Okay, there is a pathway to the south, but I don't think it's going to the arena. I think we're gonna sneak down and see if we can get a vantage point.
Borges said,
Okay,
"Do
carry
you
on."
hear her, my friend?" Like right next to you, as you're like,
As I'm just like, oh my god. Yep, no, they've found a corner. Carry on, crack on.
What does your elf brain hear?
Ringing
And then I'm going
noises.
to turn around and whisper to Waves. Then I'm going to turn around and whisper to Waves, let's go south and see if we can have a look at the arena.
I nod, then remember she cannot see me and give a thumbs up instead.
Okay, let's do this.
Perfect.
All right. I'm going to, again, listening, being very, very hyper aware. Going to start making my way south.
okay. So you do that, and it extends to the south, and at this point you can see this noise is starting to get louder again, and you can hear that there, or see rather, I should say, there are 2 open doors, and from the open doors you can hear a much, like people cheering and other what sounds like maybe like terrible tearing and cracking sounds as well coming from that area to the east through those doors.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak towards the doors and peer in.
Okay.
Just saying, I'm always directly behind Brian because I'm keeping my hand on her coat.
Okay. So here you can see there is what looks like a large room. You would need to come up to about here to see fully inside. Brian.
Okay, I'm gonna again talking to Silvo. We've a door. I'm going to peek through.
Something about
And then
a door?
I'm gonna peek through.
Okay. So once you peek through, I do want a stealth check, please.
Still at advantage.
Yes.
14.
Okay. And Waves, I know you're behind her. Are you like right up next to her at this point to do that? Okay, so 12. All right. As you look in, you see, get ready for it, chat, an arena. In the middle of the arena, 2 Sahuagin are locked in mortal combat. They are fighting each other and are ripping at each other with vicious claws and bone-crushing bites. They are unarmored and unweaponed. And surrounding the arena, there are, at a minimum, 40 or so Sahuagin plus larger, maybe like lieutenants or champions that are watching and are like and cheering and like the whole bit. And up here you can see a particularly vicious looking, can I please get, there we go. I'm just increasing it so you can all see what he looks like. A particularly vicious looking Sahuagin who, as he stands above, or is sort of sitting in his what looks like his own kind of like luxury box, I guess, or the equivalent, is looking down, and he has his hands on 2 swords that are, and they look like they're sort of hooked. They're not really scimitars. They have hooks on the end of them, jagged, and they are in the ground, and his hands are on the hilts, and he's using them almost like he would be leaning his hands on the arms of a chair, and he has a big grin on his shark-like face as he looks at the action happening. None of the people up there are paying any attention whatsoever to any of you because they're all focused their attention down here on the arena. But there are a lot of them, and a lot of them. Also, you think this thing could hold more. Like, this could probably hold 200 people, but right now it's more like 45, 50 or so Sahuagin. That's in addition to the 50, or what would you say, 40. So far you got about 95 you've discovered,
There were 77 in the
right.
other
So
section.
125 you're up to right now, roughly.
There are about 125 total.
So far.
Okay. I'm relaying all of this to Silvo in the most distinctive possible way. And then I'm going to kind of reach behind me and just gently back out of the hallway and kind of indicating to Waves that we're just going to back out a little bit now. And then continue down this hallway.
Okay. Also, I should just quickly reset and say welcome to everyone in chat. You're watching by the Dice Roll, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the episode that we're calling Eel Met by Moonlight, because I'm silly. And I'm joined, as always, by Pyron J, Darksaber2K, Wholesome Horror Gaming, Inanda, and Undeveloped Bruce. And as you can see, there is a scouting party, an invisible scouting party doing its invisible scouting by looking all around an arena that is full of Sahugin. So far, they found 125 or so on this level alone, and they've killed 3 also. So I guess we're 128, and now there's only 125. Only 125 left to go. No, they're trying to reconnoiter and find out information about them, and so they found one information, which is that they're in an arena looking at people fighting. Okay. And we will be going, by the way, for about 1 more hour, just so chat knows as well. All right. So, other than that, though, you're going to go further to the south. And as you look around this corner, it bends down and then to the left.
Okay. Also, having been down to the southern entrance and also knowing roughly how big the fortress is on the map, I'm also kind of counting in my head how far we're going, just so that I'm kind of mapping out the fortress in my head so I know roughly where the end of it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna then whisper to Waves, we're gonna keep going, but we know that somewhere in the south is a room with a lot of enemies. So we're being very, very careful. And then I'm going to go, Silvo, we're going to keep moving south for a little while. And then we're gonna keep moving south for a little while.
Okay. As you get to this area, because you see that this bends to the west, and there's another door. 2 things. I would like you to make, when you get down here, I'd like you to make both a stealth check and a perception check, please.
Okay. Stealth still with advantage.
Still with advantage. Okay.
21.
Okay.
I got a nat fail.
You hear nothing but the flapping of your own coat behind you.
24 for perception and 24 for stealth.
Okay, I see the 24 perception. Okay, so Waves, and I should also note that the other thing about stealth, it is continuing to be at advantage for now, but of course smell is another thing I should have mentioned. Scent for things underwater is conceivable. So, so Waves, you hear coming from this area to the left, and it's roughly like somewhere up there. You hear what probably can only be described as a like a whooshing sound or a spinning whooshing sound coming from that area to the northwest.
Okay, I'm good with noises and I rolled a 24. What do I think it is?
It sounds like something is disturbing the water in a rhythmic way here. Like
like a ventilator.
Well, or something could be moving the water, but something is disturbing the water in a specific fashion. Almost like they're making a whirlpool out of it. Or yes, exactly, Bruce, doing their laundry, yes.
Okay, I pull on the code to stop Brian.
I stop.
And give me a moment.
I'm gonna obviously I know how Waves communicates, and I don't think they can whisper, so I'm going to whisper to Waves, is there something down here? Should we go in the other direction?
I tuck the coat twice.
Should we go in the other direction?
I tack the code twice with more emphasis.
Amazing.
Okay. And then
Just
I
one for
turn
yes,
around.
2 for no, or 2 for yes.
Exactly. We didn't establish this.
And then I'm gonna
If
go.
you try,
Is that
If
yes
you-
or no?
if
Is
you-
that yes or no?
if you
But then
don't,
you won't
if
get a
you,
good answer to that either.
if you don't move north, I'm gonna keep on hanging to you the code and will keep on trying to stop you.
No, I am gonna move north, but I'm also gonna go. Can't see through the door. We're gonna keep going.
Well, I think they're still alive, but she's talking so loud she's distorted her own microphone.
Literally
so I could
peaked the
barely,
Blew out the mic.
barely make out
Psych
most of what
peaked
she
the-
said.
The
She
noise
really
gate on my
made
mic.
this whispering mechanic.
Oh my god. I was at a rally at
So
my
in character.
I was at a rally for my union at my university last week, and I did a live stream on Twitch of it. And like every time everyone was like, and that's, we stand together. And I was like, woo! And it's just like the speakers of the phone were not intended. That's what this is like.
But yeah, I am gonna start moving north again.
Okay.
I think they might have found something they don't want to approach, so I think they're moving backwards right now.
Don't forget to remind them about the half-hour time limit.
Yeah.
Don't want them
I
popping
reckon it's
to site at the wrong
I
time.
reckon it's been about 15, maybe 20
Yep.
minutes.
I would have
So
said
if it
about
took us
15,
15, 20 minutes to get here, then we're gonna
We
turn
were
around and go
faster
back.
than that. We were faster than that.
No, I think going somewhere unknown would take you longer than coming back through it. Like you probably come back quite quickly, but
Mm.
going forwards, you're like being quite careful and looking around corners.
But you still don't want to
and
bump into
listening.
someone who's coming around a corner, even
No,
if you're
exactly.
invisible, stuff like that. Yeah, you're being careful. I would have thought.
Yeah, so I'll say it.
I
Brian,
think
yeah,
maybe you're not.
I've-
Maybe you're just like just down the middle of the corridor like this. I'd be
He'll
invisible.
check his underwater elf watch, and it'll be like, I reckon you got about 10 minutes before you need to start coming back. Not 10 minutes before it runs out, but just 10 minutes before you need to seriously think about coming back.
But if we're 15 minutes away and it only lasts for half an hour, then surely we should
No,
head
it'll
back.
last for an
No,
hour. Last for an
It's a
hour.
full hour, but you need to give
Oh,
yourself
it's a
time
full
to
hour.
get back
Okay.
safely. Yeah.
So 30 minutes as the crow flies. No offense, waves. 30 minutes straight out. 30 minutes straight back.
Okay. In which case, I'm gonna continue to head north, being extra stealthy past the door,
Okay.
looking round corners, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me just as you pass those doors, please. Okay. And 24 for waves. Okay, that's also fine. So you continue to make no problem. Where are you headed next?
Still gonna go north, and then when I reach that junction, again peeking round the corner, I'm gonna turn west.
Alrighty. Okay. So, you're able to turn, when you turn west, you see that the passageway is bending west and then bends north again.
Okay, yep, gonna keep going, listening round corners before peeking round corners to make sure there's no one coming in the other direction.
Give me a perception check, please, when you get to this corner, please.
Okay. I got another one.
Again, you keep hearing, waves like flapping wildly behind you, the coat perhaps. Which is interesting that it always affects you but not waves. So apparently it's always like, oh no, I got this. Waves, you can hear the sort of faintest, trying to think how I would describe it. The faintest sound of water moving. And in a way that sounds ridiculous because all the water's moving, but something moving the water. It's not like the big whirlpool sound that you heard to the south, but it does sound like maybe creatures swimming around or something like that. up somewhere to your north. Now, 17 is good, but it's not enough to be like, I can pinpoint it to the foot. But somewhere in this general vicinity over here, you think there is, you hear that sound.
I try to break Brian by like holding onto the cloth. Then I touch her ear and move my hand along her arm and like point her arm in the direction from where I heard the sound. And then oh, cat! What? Moment, cat!
Suddenly a cat charges.
Roll for initiative.
And then, and while I have her hand, I like move the hand like this to hopefully convey that I hear something moving in the water.
Okay, I'm gonna touch the waves his hand and like tap it and basically point my hand. Should we carry on?
I tuck the coat twice.
Tug the coat.
Yeah, like twice for yes. But you don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna keep moving, but just very, very, very carefully. And whilst we're doing that, I'm gonna say, Silver, waves, yeah, something. We're gonna have a really, really useful look.
Blood
Sorry
just
if
starts
my mic
streaming down his
distorted.
nose, out of one corner of his eye.
Are you sure you're the right?
Oh yeah, no, this is great. This is fantastic. I can't.
You're
think
not.
of a
You're not
better-
supposed to do that.
You'd be surprised. The fact that they might have heard something, some creatures in the water. They're gonna go and have a quick spy on what they might be. And he just shakes his head, and all the blood just sort of like dissipates off.
All right, I'm gonna very, very
We have to-
quietly move
If
forward.
Sylvia continues bleeding, we will have to hope for no sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Green's like just hoovering up. He's cleaning the water as it's coming out of.
It's like being at a
his
dentist
head.
at a not good dentist visit, right? Like, you know, they're all like, yeah, you know, there's a little bit of blood, but you know. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going until I get to this doorway, and I'm just gonna peek around the corner.
Okay. One thing to note, which is that to the north, you can see sets of stairs leading upwards. You don't know how many, but you can see that off over here. To the east, though, as you're looking in here, so you can see several pillars, and you can't quite make out what's in there. You can see several pillars, and so everything looks fine until you see something drifting in front of you, and for a minute you're like, it is a shark, and I would say that, Brian, you would know enough to know it is a shell shark, kind of a flattish, wide shark that lazily, and at first you're kind of like, what? But it's clearly not paying, it doesn't see you. It kind of drifts around and then sort of lazily drifts up this way and out of sight again.
Okay, I'm gonna say to Silvo, it's a shark, specifically a shell shark. So we don't want it to smell us.
Oh, and Brian, I'm sorry, before you go any further, I'm sorry to interrupt. I wanted to mention, I left this out. On the southern wall, so basically here along the way that you can see, are coils of rope and other piles that are lashed together with cords and held down, kind of lashed to the floor to keep them from floating away. You think you also see a couple of, like a bucket of maybe nails that again is being like sort of held in place more or less by cords to the ground. So there's maybe some kind of a storage area.
Give her more things to explicitly describe to Silvo.
Yes. I wanted to make sure that she had every conceivable
Actually, yes,
detail.
I could do with him doing a nosebleed right now because I need some blood.
Is the-
Don't ask why. It's not weird.
Why do you always say that? Why do you always end it with "it's not weird"? I just need some of your hair. It's not weird. Just give me an eyelash. It's not weird.
No, but I am crafting. I'm using my magical tinkering just to make a stone that will emit the smell of blood within 10 feet of it. It's funny because I
Brilliant.
was having the idea, then they encountered the
Brilliant.
shark, and I was like, you know what? Something that smells of blood that might
Making a
distract things that
chum
can
grenade.
detect blood might be a good idea to have to hand. So I now have a stone that is emitting a blood smell 10 feet around me.
Okay.
That it's active now.
That's a good point, is it?
Coral is like
Yes, that is a good point.
Coral like
It
noses
is.
No,
towards.
I think you can deactivate them. What did I just read?
It comes closer as you try to remember how to deactivate it.
Yeah.
Kish is like, all right, take it easy, Coral. And Coral is like,
Borgs is like, what is that smell?
Yeah, we better hang on that one. It's actually just an action to craft it, so yeah. All right, well,
Get it almost ready. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I've got a
stick the
carving stone.
final-
It's just
stick the final piece in when we need it.
I'll just punch you in the nose to finish it off.
Yeah, no, yeah, amazing. Yeah.
lovely.
We've done worse things to Silvo to get him to cast spells. Don't worry about it. All right, they've found sharks.
Of course they have. Surprised it took this long.
I'm also saying to Silvo about the steps going up, and also the way you described the trap. Essentially, am I right in thinking that it's some kind of net with nails coming out of it?
No, I wouldn't say it's a trap. It's it looks like a stored area of things which may have been taken from the surface, or possibly things that were here before. Like, remember, this was the lizard folks' fortress, and it's possible that this was stuff that was left behind, and the Sahuagin have basically, just because they don't need that stuff, lashed it down, but they're not using it themselves. So this is really like more or less like everything is tied down with cords and ropes or buckets or whatever, but it all looks like supplies of some kind, though how good the supplies are going to be now that they've been submerged underwater for a while, you don't know.
How big is a shell shark? Is this like a smaller shark, or what is it?
I will tell you exactly. So a shell
Kind
shark.
of imagining it's like a hermit crab, but a shark. That's what my head's come up with.
How big is the shark? We pulled
It's
the
a
coat
shark in a little
twice.
snail shell.
Medium monstrosity.
The medium part of that is okay.
And it has
It gets
shell
worse
plate
after
armor.
that.
You had me at the first half. I
Yeah.
won't lie.
Medium's fine.
But like, how
Monstrosity.
big of a circumference?
It says they are impressive creatures too. Let me see if I can find. Let me see.
Did a
if I can
shell
find-
shark
Also the-
write this right up?
I'm also. An
I don't know,
impressive
but I'm looking
creature,
forward
but
to it being
still.
relayed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
let's
an
see.
impressive monstrosity.
You're about to get a full zoological
medium,
report
it's like,
delivered
yeah.
straight to the brain.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Going
Here
out
we
They
go.
appear
Here we
to
go.
be
down
swimming.
underwater.
All right, hang on a second. I will show it to you. I will show you this thing in just a
Brian
minute. I'm gonna do it on
Attenborough.
OBS. Okay. Capture that.
Whilst Barb's doing that, I'm just relaying back to Silvo. It's just swimming around at the moment. It's mainly going clockwise. Oh no, it's just turned around now. It's going anti-clockwise. I want to go and have a look at the stuff, but I'm not sure if I should. What do you think? I mean, there might be stuff in there that could go in the bag of holding, but I won't know unless I go and have a look. What do you all think? I mean, if you could ask the others for me as well, that would be great.
I love.
Green's there at the same time going, has the shark eaten them?
No, they're just getting very detailed reports of whether or not they should just loot the resources in that room. I gotta be honest to you, when we get back to Saltmarsh, we definitely need to see if someone can teach Brian effective communication skills.
But it's good that she's being so thorough. We need every bit of information we can possibly get on this place.
Well, if you want to describe
Not
in great
directly to
detail
my
the shark
cerebellum,
that
we
you see.
don't.
2, 3, 4, 5, like about 73 73 teeth. So it could be quite dangerous.
I know more about shell sharks now than I ever thought I would ever actually forget because it's burned into my retinas at this moment.
I have a question for Arv/Silvo. How much time before we need to turn around?
I don't know. I can't see the face on my watch anymore. I'd say you got about 5 minutes, and then you probably should start coming back.
So it's like, sorry, I appear to have gone blind.
I can't see out of one eye. I've suffered a grievous wound. I'm taking constant psychic damage. And it is in fact super effective.
Silvo.
Who said that? If you're on my left, I can't see you.
Tell them not to get eaten. If the shark has lots of teeth,
It's got 73 apparently.
Eats things and people.
Yes. Green says not to get eaten, especially as it's got lots of teeth, because it might eat things and people. I'm saying that.
I eat things with my teeth. So I think sharks also eat things with their teeth. And I don't have 73 teeth.
No.
I only have 1, 2.
I've got this, and I've got the counting of shark teeth directly in my head. And from somewhere, I know exactly how many nails are in this bloody bucket.
So what?
Phil's just watching this, but he has just started running his tongue over the back of his teeth.
So what you're saying is that maybe we shouldn't go in and have a look at the stuff.
22, 23.
Should have stayed in prison. I really should have. I should have stayed in the streets. I really should have. Be a better person.
I saw the picture of the shark on stream for a moment. I don't think it's gonna fit through the opening of the bag of holding.
I did think the same thing, but I don't think. I mean, catching it in the bag of holding would be tricky.
I thought we could attract it and just hold it open and it swims inside.
Very unlikely.
We have a potential to do something I've always wanted to try in D&D, which is catch a water elemental in a bag of holding.
And then I would have never.
I did it in
told
Fighting
Mothwell
Fantasy.
And then I would have never told Mothwell because I don't have a button for it. So that would have been really funny in the end.
To be fair, unless something undoes the spell, if I don't know it's in there, I'd never know to think of it, so I'd never find it, because that's how the bag of holding works. You can hide stuff in there that I don't know about that you could recover, technically. Because you need to know it's in there to have it in your mind for the whole bag of holding to work.
Even set aside the breathing thing, how long you have to breathe inside it. Even if you didn't have to breathe, can you imagine what a freaking horror nightmare it is to hang out a bag of holding with multiple sharks and creatures and spears and jagged stuff and just it's just like a junk shop from Lemony Snicket's, but turned up to 15 with
And every so often a hole opens in the sky. And
every so often something sharp and deadly falls on top of you. Yeah, and you just see the open mouth of the shark try to be shoved through the bag of holding.
And it's one extreme or the other, isn't it? It's never normal items. It's either junk or legendary weapons.
Right,
of
exactly.
War. It's
exactly.
one or the other. It's
exactly.
Beef jerky or the blade of the gods.
Or a gnome occasionally.
I think it's called the Horn of Unliving in this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
It's in there.
Right, so do we want them to try and go into this room? I'm saying this to Morthwheel. Do we want them to try and go into this room and see what they can get from the storeroom? Bearing in mind there's no sharks in it.
I don't know
I
much
don't want
about
to fight a shark.
I don't think they should be fighting a shark. I just really got this strong feeling at the back of my mind that I think they'd agree with us on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. No, straight over to Brian. No, don't worry about seeing if you can get anything from the room. If there are sharks in there, give it a wide berth.
Shark again comes in way of the space, floats back in, and sort of, and mouth opens, and then several, only a few feet from Brian's face, circles around and floats back the other way.
Are we 74 or not 72?
I'm sorry, I miscounted. There are actually 74 teeth. I think you're right. Maybe we shouldn't go in. But just in case. No, you're right. We shouldn't go in. All right, we're gonna have a quick look. A little bit further north. But then we'll probably turn around and come back. Okay. Speak to you in a bit. Bye.
51, 52, 50. What did I
go?
say? I'll start again. 1, 2.
All right, so you're making your way back. Is that what I'm hearing?
I
or-
just
no,
want to, before we turn around and go back, I just want to have a quick peek to see if I can see how far these stairs go up.
So
Yeah.
you see there are 4 sets of them, and they do look like they extend up a good 15, 20 feet up above into the ceiling. This looks like it might lead to like the second floor of the fortress.
Because at the moment we're on the bottom floor,
Correct.
right?
That's right. And the second floor, the middle floor, is the one floor you don't have direct access to from the outside.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm not gonna whisper to Waves. I'm just going to kind of find them and guide them back, and make our way back to.
Nope. I push because I want to look up the stairs. So I'm gonna hold onto your cloak and I'll try to drag you towards the stairs.
Do I have to have you make
okay.
opposed strength checks, or do you like?
No, I give in pretty easily and let Waves guide me. Okay, we'll go and have a very quick peek up the stairs.
Okay.
Do the stairs look like they all lead to the same place and it's just fancy to have 4 stairs, or do they look like they lead to different places?
That's
like
a good
one to the
question.
first, one to the first, one to the second, one to the third floor kind of thing.
Yeah, these ones look like. As I'm looking at the. Hang on a moment, making maps work. Okay, so it looks like actually, I slightly misspoke. Sorry. It looks like these are 2. It's a little confusing. I don't know why they just didn't extend this over two areas, but this that you're standing on is one set of stairs up basically 20 feet into the ceiling, and this here is another set of 20 foot of stairs leading up into the ceiling. So there's basically 2 big flights of stairs. I don't know why the map shows it as 4. But the reason I mention that is that, yes, both of those do lead to, it looks like, the same place up on the second floor. You would have to walk up the stairs to see what that looks like, but you could do that.
Okay. I try to push Brian upwards because I don't know what our plan is, so I'm just like, and we're swimming, so I can shoot like, boop.
I'll go and have a peek up the stairs, but I am gonna whisper to Waves, like very, very, very quietly. We're going to have to go back very soon, otherwise we'll turn visible.
I agree.
All right, so we're gonna go up and just have a peek at the crest of the stairs to see if we can see what's on the next floor.
In that case, I'm going to bring you all here, and you will see complete darkness, but only for a moment. There we are. That is where you come out. And as you look sort of down or up the hallway, I guess, to the down the hallway to the south, you can see that it extends south for a decent space of time before it disappears in the darkness. And you can also see that there is here an area extending off to the east.
Roughly how much time do we have before we need to turn back?
Probably at this point, I would say about 15 minutes, because you took about 15 minutes to get down, took another 10 minutes to get up, you took a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes. You're probably about 40 minutes into your invisibility.
Right, I'm gonna, again, very, very quietly whisper to Waves. We're just gonna have a little look around this corner. and then yeah, I want to have a look, just a peek around the corner.
No. I try to hold her back on the cloak.
Let me have you make a perception check, both of you, because you're at least at the top of the stairs. So you're at least here-ish. So.
Oh my god!
Well, you have a Kenku behind you going cool, like tugging repeatedly.
The last 3 perception checks,
Yeah.
I've got nat
All
ones.
nat ones. Pretty incredible. Hey, Singularity. So Waves, and I'm not going to have you bring your tokens on here yet, but Waves, I do want to mention that right here, as you're tugging away at Brian and, to keep her from going further to the south, there's something very weird about this wall. Something very strange about it. Does not look like quite the same color as the rest of them.
Okay. I try to keep Brian on the stairs. And then cling onto her arm and point her arm towards the wall because there might be a trap there.
I'm fully amenable. Every time Waves tugs at my coat, I immediately stop or turn or.
Okay, that's good.
I'm very much guided by knowing Waves is behind me.
So
yeah, I'm like the little angel on your shoulder.
If you are directed to this, then you would be able to see. You don't know about a trap, although you should make an investigation check if you want to be definitely sure. But
yeah,
you do
I want to look at it.
You do see a faint outline, though, around an area in this wall, about 4 or 5 feet tall.
Can I do an investigation check as well?
Yes. Now that you've been pointed to it by Waves.
Jesus Christ.
Goodness me.
You're like, what are you talking about? You just keep bashing your head into it. Waves, you're pretty sure this is a door that you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
You want to inspire Brian for the next perception?
What are you talking about? And I'm going, Silvo, I think there's a problem with Waves. She keeps pointing to a wall.
Well,
okay.
Maybe there's something about the wall. Maybe it's got a secret, or it's got a trap, or it's, I don't know, something. She's a Kenku. I don't know.
Wait, did you say trap?
Oh no. There's
Silvo, tell them to turn around.
Is this a better wall?
They saw Waves is pointing towards a wall, and Brian doesn't know why.
Okay.
So I shout in Silvo's ear. Describe the wall to me.
I'm not a tin can on a string. Can you describe, Brian? Oh, no. I have to say it to you.
I'm just
Silvo, tell them to turn around. It's not
Green,
worth
I
it.
will. I feel like a phone operator. Green, I absolutely will. Brian, if you're still there,
what is a
can
phone?
you describe the wall? Waves, wait your turn.
It looks like a wall. It's
Outstanding. Anything else?
I'm trying. Okay, I'll move my hand over the where I think the door is, and maybe I can push it open or get my fingers into the gap or something.
I think you can, having done that. Yeah, you're able to move your your feathers around, basically, your talons around until, not talons, I guess. For a Kenku, it wouldn't be, right? It would be.
Yeah, I have hands.
Yeah. So right. I'm thinking about the back of the body. Anyway. So
yeah,
you're
okay,
able
I can use my feet if necessary.
You were able to find something, and when you push in, it opens up and reveals a small little passage that seems to end at another dead end.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. Let's go. Let's not no.
All right. At this point, I'm going to ask the two of you.
Wall move. I don't know how.
I'm gonna ask the tokens. I'm gonna ask the two of you to bring your tokens out of this map, please.
Yeah, I'm going downstairs. I'm trying to pull Brian with me. I don't trust this shit.
And Effect Life has inspired Brian for your perception check next, Anana, just so you know.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, does that mean I get to roll perception at advantage?
At advantage coming up in this one. Now, I do have to mention Effect Life. This is using up one of yours for the month of March. This is officially March 1st. I can't believe it's March, by the way. March 1st. But I'm just letting y'all know that's the case. But I think it is funny that Brian gets that inspiration. So
if I roll 2 more nat ones, I apologize.
Oh. Don't put that.
Hey, you would have too. Well, actually, that's perception is 22. You should roll one more. Not that it matters, but this is just to clear it. Yeah, 22. All right. Yes, unquestionably. Hold on, I'm just making a note. Effect Life's perception. Okay, cool. Right. So register Effect Life's perception. Great. I just had to do that so I don't forget. And then go back up here. Lovely. All right. So, yes, you are absolutely able to see that there is indeed an outline like the one you saw further down the hallway. Brian, have you folks brought your tokens on here yet?
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, if you drag your character onto the area of the map that's been revealed already, so like here. So if you take your character from the sidebar, and then bring it onto here, it should appear in the hallway.
I don't know how to take my character from the sidebar. Where is it?
So the sidebar, if you look at this, there's it's a little book icon.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And you see there's a character, you have your character there. I might be able to do it, actually. Let me see if I can.
No, it's just
we can just go downstairs.
It's bringing the wrong one. Okay, never mind. Let me just make copies then.
I have never known how to do this. This is dark magic.
Okay, let me just do it this way because it's easier and I don't have to spend time on it. Okay, so do this, go up here, carry the 1, and paste. Okay, that means that you're here and you're here. See if you have control over your characters.
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So now you can, great. Okay, cool. So now you're here. And yes, so you can see the outline of a door here, Brian. That just like the one that you saw previous down the hallway.
I'm gonna very, very quietly whisper to Waves, "There's another door." And then I'm gonna, "Silvo, there's another secret door."
They're going through a bunch of secret doors. I'm sure this won't hinder their time coming back in this lightest.
Much we can do about it.
I'm gonna turn to Waves and say, "Shall we try this one too?"
I put my hands on both sides of Brian's head and make her shake her head to give me 100% sure she understands me.
I shouted Silvo's ear. We can send you out invisible again. You don't have to do it in one go.
As I say,
I've got enough of them shouting in me head. I don't need you shouting in me here.
Well, if I'd given it to you to give to them, the message might get muddled.
Does this mean you just have to... never mind. Okay, yeah, I'll relay that to Brian. If you come back,
I'm gonna
you know where you're going. We can send you out again.
What? We can come back?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna head back now. We're on the middle floor, and I'm just explaining how brilliant this secret door. It looks like the wall. I don't know how Waves found it. Okay, we'll be back in a bit. See you soon. And then
Cheers, bye.
Cheers,
You know those anime moments where there's just like blood pouring out of the protagonist's nose. It's just like that at the moment.
And then I'm gonna let Waves kind of lead me back to the stairs and go back down to the bottom floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. I'm going to then remove you all from this area.
And I would like to close the secret door behind us. I'm not gonna let it open.
Okay. You do that. and you are back here on this
Awesome.
bottom floor.
And
Let's
then,
go
yeah,
back to the jail.
yeah, we're going to sneak back to the jail as swiftly and quietly as possible.
Let me have you make another stealth check, please. And still at advantage because you're invisible.
Although that, very slightly, there is that sonic like water level noise going on, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
That's the Jaws theme.
Right. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Okay. So let's see.
21.
Waves, no problem. And both of you have a 21. All right. So you're able to float by. You see more. You actually see as you go by 2 of these sharks kind of floating next to each other, and occasionally looking over towards the door, but obviously nothing noticing you. And you're able to make your way back here, and I would say you get back here probably at like the 55-minute mark, let's say. So if the two of you want to move your tokens here.
When we pass the shell shark tank, I'm going to let Silvo know. There's actually two sharks. I didn't have enough time to count the teeth this time, though.
Well, once again, I think I may be going deaf because either Brian has blown a microphone out somewhat, or both of my eardrums have just completely stopped working. Something about teeth and there being 2, something with 2 teeth. A sea gopher, perhaps.
It's so narratively perfect, though, that this is about what you're picking up at this point. Okay.
It's just nothing but high-pitched ringing in his ear. Basically constant high-level.
All you hear is just,
That's it.
That's all you hear. Okay, so you're back in the room now, and as you get there, Borges says, "Welcome back. What have you found? Silva has told us some of what you said. Congratulations on how quiet you are." It's like Silva's on his hands and knees.
I'm gonna relay step by step. So we decided to go west. We didn't want to go straight for the arena, so we went west, and then we went.
Just one thing. While Brian explains it, I accompany it all with like miming everything, especially the noises that I heard that Brian didn't hear, like this big whoosh noise and everything.
Okay.
And again, like all of the details of the arena, the creature fight, the slightly intimidating looking Sahugan, who seemed to be more vicious. It was mentioned before that Baron Ketmac was possibly a leader. I don't know if it was him. There were no names mentioned. It was just shouting in the arena, and we went south for a little while longer. However, Waves wouldn't let me go through the door. There was something, and I'm assuming it's at that point that Waves does the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Is that what you heard? I didn't hear that at all. Oh, I'm glad you stopped me now. And then, we went back north, and I'm going to go through with great detail how I counted the teeth on the shell shark, but I couldn't see what equipment the lizard folk had left that could be lootable. It would be difficult to go and have a look without confronting the shell sharks. And then I'm going to tell them how we went upstairs to the north, and how absolutely amazed I was by Waves finding a secret door in a wall. It was just a wall. I don't know how they found it. And but there was another secret door behind the secret door. But we had to come back.
And you can see, chat, on the screen right now how much of the lowest level so far they have been able to explore. So you get to see that.
Without dying.
That's true.
Hmm?
That's true.
So far, only the eel died.
But too soon. too soon. And I go and pat, what's his name? Borgus
Borgos.
on the shoulder, and say, I'm so sorry for your loss.
And he says, I am grateful. Some of you have found many Sahugan. Each one of them, if they all were to die, would not be worth the loss of my evil. But it does mean there are many of them to contend with. Perhaps a way to eliminate all of them at once, he says, his eyes flashing. And Kish is kind of like, but perhaps we should do more reconnaissance. Borges says, perhaps.
Yes, I mean, the explosives would need a
I
dry
agree.
place to go anyway. Damp explosives don't do much booming. They teach you that day one of mining school.
At least it's not day 2, I'll be honest.
It's important to get the explosive stuff out the way early.
Yeah. Right, so are you guys heading back out?
Well, I think I look at Waves and say, should we go and find out what's behind that other secret door?
It's behind door number 2.
I look around the room and I make a, like, all of us should go motion.
Can't make that many people invisible.
Fight the sharks?
That'd make noise.
That would make noise. It might not make much noise. We could go fight the sharks.
I mean, it's a noisy arena, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't hear fighting over the sound of an arena.
Probably not. I mean, there was only sharks in there, wasn't there? There wasn't like shark keepers or.
Yeah, but it did double
or...
the same after we're on a return observation.
Yeah,
the number of sharks had doubled. That does concern me a bit.
Did you
Yeah, I didn't go into the room properly. I only saw one shark initially, and it was when we came back that I saw 2.
I mean, I don't want to be a pessimist, but that could just be the baby sharks. What if Mummy and Daddy Shark are in there as well?
Do.
Sounds catchy. I like it. You should write that down.
I'm trying to draw, I'm trying to map it based on the descriptions that they've all been given.
Have we found any of the, what were we looking for? Offices of the leaders?
Not yet. One thing I will ask, I'm going to give the bag of holding to Morthwheel and ask him to find some paper and a pen so I can draw a rough map of what we've seen so far.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. Yeah, done.
Can you do that underwater?
Underwater?
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I've got the stuff. I'm going to hand her the paper and the pen and the walk, because that's what was asked for.
Instantaneously is like, I mean...
Yeah, I didn't even think. I just go like, right.
Yeah,
About
that's
some
not gonna work.
chalk, maybe? Maybe you could write on the wall. Maybe
I have got
draw like a map on the wall.
chalk. Yes, that's part of my adventuring kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd work underwater. So yeah, I've got some chalk. Find a stone to scratch on.
Okay, I'm going to do that then, just so that everyone knows kind of the layout of what we've seen so far. I'm also going to, when I draw the shark, I'm going to draw 74 teeth.
Cool. Have you got any more chalk, or is that the last piece? That's now all of our chalk.
2 hours later, as the guards begin to return.
I think we all start with chalk because it's basic adventurer's gear.
I Silver will have sold his.
Yeah,
Trust me.
fair. Yeah, I suppose if you want it to be.
If it was worth a copper piece, the copper piece was more important.
The wall I'm going to write.
Copper for chalk seems a bit expensive.
It does actually, yeah. I'll be honest.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say the wall I'm going to write on is inside Coral's cell.
Okay.
Though,
Oh, yeah.
so it's not going to be a map of the fortress on the wall when we're expecting Zahugans to come back.
With a dotted line, we're going this way. Guards, please follow us.
New secret door.
We are here with a big
Yeah.
triangle and like. Okay, so you can do that. You can. I would say maybe that's about a 10-minute job to sort of do a very rough map of where you went.
And then an extra 10 minutes when Green cleans it off, and you have to explain to Green that this is purposeful
do.
mess.
This is
We needed
purposeful
that
dirt.
green.
Purposeful dirt.
So,
Purposeful
I draw it again, but with 2 sharks that have got 74 teeth.
Okay.
Right, another hour.
see, it's doubled again now there, too. It's spreading. Don't like this.
That's 148 teeth. I'm just going to say. That is not something I want
That's
to
nearly
go mess around
150
with.
teeth.
Nearly 150 teeth on a good day. I barely knew Green had 50, I'll be honest with you. Unless Green doesn't know how to count, I'm not
Well,
sure.
technically they're not teeth.
And he opens his mouth, and you can see, like, deep inside, there's like these backwards pointing keratin spikes that leatherback turtles have that are just terrifying rows going all the way down his throat. They're actually just to, like, prevent jellyfish from escaping, you know.
Like penguins.
Yeah. Penguins are terrifying when you see them in their mouth open. They are horrific.
Ah, yeah.
Yes. I love penguins.
Cool. I thought I'd done. Yeah, I thought I'd seen some real eldritch horrors in my time, but Green, you have topped it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, wait, that's bad.
Right.
I
so
am not a horror.
No, absolutely not.
Sounded-
Look at
I'm
my
not a
inner
monster.
peace.
Just please don't eat me. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm assuming we're planning on sort of regrouping and sending these 2 out again.
Yeah, we could, like, the shark room we could move up to, maybe.
If we wanna make a bit of a ruckus.
I think there's a big arena down there from the description. It's pretty isolated, and there was nothing up the stairs that they saw.
We
Secret
didn't
doors.
go far up the stairs because
Secret
Waves
door.
found a secret door.
tunnel.
I mean, we can't
think
ignore that.
upstairs might be worth.
Green remembers that upstairs might be where the traps are. He goes,
Abandoning and never going to again.
If there is a trap
Even
there, we should at
if-
least find it, and then we can tell the army about it.
True. Yeah.
Yes, we would not want the army to fall into a pit of acid.
Especially not underwater.
No.
Definitely not.
I don't even know how that would work under here, but
It'd be painful. It'd be just painful. I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you. A lot of it sounds
Yeah.
like it's considerably uncomfortable for all concerned. Yeah. So do we want to move to the potential shark room?
Ladies, will you please shut it?
Waves want attention. So, I'm trying to mime a door and a shark,
Mhm.
and then us
Door
just
shark.
running across the door frame and up the stairs and into the secret passage and closing the door behind us.
I think
Wait.
what Waves is trying to say is we should take the sharks upstairs.
So we lash the
To-
sharks together using
You
rope.
remember how we used those
I heard they've got nearly
creatures
170
to check
teeth.
for traps.
Yeah.
We use the sharks to check for traps.
That could work. I think I've seen that in a illustration somewhere.
It's dangerous.
Which is why you wanted the shark to go first.
I
Yes,
could make
I
a
agree.
stone that smells of blood.
Yes. So stone on a stick, like one of those anglerfish. And you tie it to the shark and it's just constantly going forwards. Then you just got to, rope around it and then you're off. You're off to the races. I love it. I love this. This went from a very strategic plan to a complete derailment. quite quickly.
So let's strap a stone that smells of blood to a shark.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta rein this one in, mate.
I mean,
Green's got a
I don't
stone.
even know
He's-
what to
he's
rein in
already-
yet is the problem.
Green's already got a stone and he's like taking it up to Silvo's ear to collect some blood.
So, what is the ultimately the so Borges says.
Yeah, let me let's
My,
listen.
actually,
So,
it would be Kish says.
we-
My understanding was you were trying to do some reconnaissance. I'm not sure that having sharks would make that possible. Perhaps the secret door that your waves wants to take us to makes sense, but I don't think the sharks here are as well behaved as Coral. And he kind of gestures to Coral, who.
So
he
wait,
does have a fight.
do you mean all of us to go to this secret door?
I nod.
Am I the only one that think that sounds really risky?
We've got a few hours before anyone's due to come and look in on the prisoners
I
here.
have no idea what's behind this secret door, though.
And I don't know.
Well, if we probably all want to be there when we find out then. And it's a secret door. Like 2 secret doors, isn't it?
Yes.
That's something that they want especially secret. Because let's be honest, who's going to let you? You open a secret door. Oh, it's a dead end. I'm just going to go away. No. I don't get the psychology of this kind of design. It makes no sense. I have to have a look at this.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we're all going to the secret door then.
I can't let this go.
I
The
agree.
design makes no sense.
Okay.
All right. So as the group of you set off down the passageways to head there, I think that as Green and the rest of you are beginning to make your way in that direction, you hear a great cheer go up from the assembled people in the arena. It is possible that one of those fighting has just fallen. We will see how that looks in our next session. That's going to bring us to a close. We did get a lot of it explored, at least I shouldn't say a lot of it, a lot of this floor explored without aggroing anything yet. We will see what happens. I was just, it was cracking me up. So the screaming thing, as we said, the psychic screaming is always funny. Green's thing about counting the teeth while also like constantly sort of going in while people are like doing other stuff was funny. And then the sort of willful waves means this to like, so you're saying take the sharks with us. Oh man. It was great. And it was a combination of like imminent threat and everyone being like, this is a really well executed plan, very well executed plan, at the same time that everyone is just like doing this stuff that if actually had been audible, like the shrieking or anything else. At one point, I think Bruce mentioned in chat that it was going to be that time when Brian forgot to actually whisper out loud and to scream internally. Reverse that once, right? And we got issues. So it was a lot of fun.
I was actually waiting for that like Brian turned around to waves and going like, where
Yeah, I was
are
just
we
waiting for
going?
it. I know. It was really, really great. And I'm glad that we're back in the saddle for this. We shall see what happens now that you've got your 2 companions and a sea lion, too. I will start with on the right side of the screen. Bruce, great stuff today. Really enjoyed Bruce. I really enjoyed Bruce. I did enjoy, I'm talking to you. Really enjoyed Green is what I meant to say. And I loved not just the counting of the teeth, but also the idea that you and Morthwell started to do this too. We're thinking of Silvo's head as like the tin can on the end of the string. So you just like, tell them this, which is what people do even when there's no way that the other person on the line and the other end of the line could hear what you're saying. They're just like, why don't you do this? That was great. How did you feel, Green, about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Yeah, I loved that. It reminded me today that I phoned my mum, and in the background, I could just hear my dad, being like, "Oh, tell Bruce this," or "Have you told Bruce about the new Land Rover or whatever that's broken down because he bought it for 200 quid or something, you know?" And then my nephew's going, "Is that Auntie Silly? Nanny, Nanny?" It just sounded like a terrible time over there, and my mum empathizes with Silver greatly, I reckon. So yeah, it was a really fun session today. I'm so glad that I got to be here with you all today. And the fine folks will see me next on Tuesday on Arv's channel, where I'll be playing a different green character.
Dragonbane playing Frogor, who is clearly not a frog.
No. He might have been assigned frog at birth, but he is all mallard, baby.
Very excited for that. And Bruce, great stuff today as always. Great stuff also, Inanda from Brine. Again, got to be front and center with the psychic screaming and also the searching and exploration. Also, both you and Pyron with Waves handled this exploration well, because it is a balancing thing, right? Like if you crawl along at like 5 feet a minute, you're never going to get anywhere. Like you have to actually make some progress. But again, you could walk into anything around a corner, and you might have actually gotten a little bit lucky in the sense that a bunch of the Sahugans seem to be all watching this battle going on in the arena, and so that's 50 less Sahugan to be wandering the halls at the moment. We'll see. But in any case, you've noticed some trouble spots. I loved the constant crit misses too, which eventually led to Effect Life's inspiration. You finally got one, so someone said, I think it might have been Mike said, get those out of the way now, before we actually get into combat. How'd you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Oh, I always have a blast with you guys. Yeah, lots of fun today. I also do enjoy the telepathic screaming. I'm sorry that my noise gate on my mic didn't allow all of it.
It was so funny at the end, though, that it was starting to happen.
So good.
It's like,
so
like, what?
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, I need to distinguish my shout screaming, my shout whispering, and my not shout whispering. But yeah, lots and lots of fun today. And nobody died, so that's a good thing. People can find me on my own channel. I'm currently streaming Date Everything. It's like a fever dream. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you so much for today. Always a blast.
Good stuff. Thanks, Ananda. Looking forward to next session. Looking forward as well to see how Silvo continues to do things, assuming that Silvo can survive long enough acting as a communication conduit. You were handling that quite well in your reactions, like brought to the screaming. And also some good moments, I should say, earlier on. A lot of people were mentioning this both in the group and a couple in chat about how Silvo's grown up a bit here. And the conversation that Silvo had with Borges and all that was nicely done. And again, fits narratively in a way that wouldn't have fit at the beginning of the adventure here. But Silvo's grown up a little bit. So much so that now Silvo can be knocked around internally by someone screaming at him psychically. How'd you feel about today? Where will the fine folks find you next, Mike?
Yeah, brain tumors aren't a real thing in D&D, right? Like, I don't need to roll for anything bad to happen.
No, why would I need?
Just a slight, aneurysm. It's absolutely fine. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. It felt very strategic. I'll be honest with you. It felt like a very sensible plan and not in lockstep with what we would normally do, which is kind of bimble our way into situations and then try and figure our way out of it. But I genuinely really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to what happens next. If you want to find out more from myself, you can check me out over on twitch.tv/wholesome horror gaming, also YouTube /wholesome horror gaming or wholesome horror vods. I'm currently playing through Amanda the Adventurer on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. GMT, and I'm currently playing in any and all indie horror games over on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. GMT as well. So I hope to see you there.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Good work today. Saber, good stuff today. Again, thanks for Dashboard and Moobot. Good stuff today with Morthwill. You and Silvo both doing the invisibility thing, and all the sort of the bag of holding shenanigans and what can and can't be put into bags of holding and all that sort of thing was interesting. And then figuring out how to coordinate all of this in terms of what resources people have and don't have. That's going to be important as everyone continues to make their way through this fortress. So I was a little worried when the two were just going off by themselves that the other three might feel like they were sort of off to the side. But as it turned out, I think everybody was kind of engaged because they were all sort of not only listening, but sort of yelling at Silvo to tell them this thing, exactly like Bruce was describing before about the family call. So that was fun to watch. How'd you feel about today, Saber? Where will the fine folks find you next?
It's a lot of fun. It's great to be back with everyone again. And I'm actually really proud of us because look at us with a grown-up plan that's working and everything right now. Mm-hmm. So I was quite happy. It's like that, as long as that was working and they didn't get into trouble, I'm quite happy to sit off to the side. But it's when it's like, oh, I want to get in there and help, and I'm all the way over here. If that had happened, it would have been a lot more stressful. But yeah, I'm literally tears of laughter tonight. So it's been great. As for me, I'll be back on my channel tomorrow. Not sure what I'm playing, but I stream all kinds of stuff. I like all kinds of games. So yeah.
Good stuff. Thanks, Saber. Really enjoyed this tonight. And last but certainly not least, Pyron, great work out of Waves. Not only the pulling, the yanking at the coat, which was very funny, but then I just, the image of you being like clearly describing shark, door, everything, and then everyone being like, so you mean this? And just this sort of look of like horror / WTF, like, on Waves was so funny. And also the fact that Waves, of course, has, their own mind up about what she wants to do and what, like, where it's supposed to go and all that stuff. And when that doesn't sync up with the rest of the crowd, that was funny. I think that may have been the first time you used the everyone shut up part of your soundboard, but that was very funny too.
Yes.
As everyone is kind of losing their minds collectively. Great stuff today, Pyron. Where will the fine, what do you think of today? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Actually, tomorrow evening, because there's Saber.
I forgot again. I forgot. No, sorry.
What happened?
So tomorrow evening for some Barony multiplayer with Darksaber and Memories in 8-bit, because 2 weeks ago we killed the Baron.
You did? I didn't hear about this. Wow,
yes,
congratulations. Damn.
And so we killed the Baron, which actually puts you back into the hamlet, which is the starting town on the other side of the big gate. And then you're offered to go into another dungeon. And that's where we are currently. And it's like really intense. And we're a tree, a mushroom, and a lizard.
That explains why it
listening.
worked.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. So that's and our mushroom is throwing a duck.
Of course. Oh, yeah. That explains why it all works. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to see if I can check that out if I get time.
Yes.
Good stuff from everybody, and I just want to mention quickly, chat. Not unfortunately, it doesn't look like, unless something opens up, that we're gonna have another session of these folks in March. I wish that there were, but we're gonna try to get as early a spot as we can in April. It's a matter of scheduling, but this is such a great crew when we can get everyone together, so we're gonna make every effort to do that. Thanks to the amazing and awesome members of By the Dice Roll. Can we get some love for Pyron Jade, Darksaber 2K, Wholesome Horror Gaming, Ananda, and Undeveloped Bruce? Great work, everybody. I will see you all in various places soon, and with this particular crew as a collective next month. Bye for now, all.
Thank you. Bye.
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 All right, that is going to do it for them, and it's also going to do it for us, because I have to give way now to Dizzy Plays, who's going to be here doing some Total War. And I just wanted you all to see that this is how my cat was reacting to that very intense session. So I just want you all to note that that was how my cat was just flipping out about what was going to happen in this session as we went through. So it was very much a problem for the cat. It was tiring. But this was great. I really had a good time with this group, and I'm so glad that we're back to it. And again, we're going to try to ramp this up as much as we can, but it's a matter of scheduling, but we will get it done. If you liked what you saw and heard today, I hope you will follow us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. I hope you'll consider subbing to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel, and I hope you will consider checking out our individual channels, because we have our own subsystems and Patreons and stuff like that as well. If you want to see more from me and from Undeveloped Bruce, may I suggest you stop by my channel Tuesday at noon Eastern, when I will be playing Dragonbane, our third session with Undeveloped Bruce and 3 other amazing players. And then later on, I will be back here for episode 512 of Pen and Pixels, where I will be finishing up Evoland and getting ready for Evoland 2. Very excited about all of that as we go along. So thank you all for being here. Good turnout today. Good enjoyment from chat as always. And that is going to do it for... Oh, wait a second. I got to turn off the... Wait, I got to log out. No, I got to log out. Okay, exit. Yay, good, I did it. All right, that's going to do it for me. Going to give way to Dizzy. Stick around now for Dizzy and more Total War, and I will see all of you lovely folks on Tuesday for more Pen and Pixels, more of this campaign to come next month. Until I speak to you next time, everyone please be good to each other, and stick around for Dizzy. I'll see you all soon. Much love. Bye for now.
Thank you.